He used to believe in something would happen. Mills for liberty. Gnostic sex cult, building his own world. A gnostic sex cult, unhinged from reality. Totally lost in what can we do? But mock him relentlessly. It's not a gnostic sex cult, James. No, it's not. Stop lying to your audience. No, it's not. It's not gnostic, James. Mary Nardini tells us queer liberation means the annihilation of capitalism. Catch up, James. Whiteness means capitalism. Queer theory hates capitalism. Whiteness means capitalism. Queer theory hates capitalism. Whiteness means capitalism. It's all about capitalism. Everyone knows it's capitalism. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. Whoa. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. It's all about capitalism. Everyone knows it's capitalism. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. It's capitalism. To pocket all that money from the mills for liberty. The left hates capitalism, but James won't admit it. He refuses to believe queer theory stabilizes normativity. The gender binary and the nuclear family. But James blocks the truth, smears people who try to show him, creates an echo chamber for himself to reinforce his fantasy. Is to believe in something. What happens for liberty? Gnostic sex cult, building his own world. The gnostic sex cult, unhinged from reality. He's totally lost it. What can we do but mock him relentlessly?
Ignatz sent $5. Carlin talks about your tie all the time, lol. I want to see her in only a tie.
Nice.
Sleepy Grow I sent $5.
Hello, 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 hello. That clip will never, never, never not make me smile. I have to say that. Well, welcome to Nitwits. Nitwits is a show that I do when I want to watch other people's content on this channel. And oh my, were there fireworks on Twitter today? Oh my, oh mio, oh my, oh, Cleveland, Ohio. I don't know. There were some fireworks on Twitter today. I'll tell you guys that. Now, of course, the assassination attempt on Donald Trump is very, 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 very serious. And we really shouldn't laugh because he almost died. Legitimately. Like, if he had not turned his head at the last minute, we would have watched the back of Donald Trump's head get blown off on live TV. And it is not funny, and it is very serious. And we should all pray for him because he hasn't been elected again yet, and it could happen again. And I don't think any of us would be surprised if it did. But that doesn't mean we can't kind of revel in some of the other things that have gone on. Because, god damn, have people lost their ever-loving minds or what? People are crazy. Man, you have to say, you really do have to give Trump credit, because Trump is possibly taking this better than anyone else in the world right now. Trump at 80 years old got shot in the ear, got tackled by Secret Service, had his shoes knocked off apparently, got up, told his Secret Service to stop, and wrestled the fist pump out of the mound of Secret Service that was trying to get him off the, like, and then Trump got on a plane and he went and he had a CT scan or something, and everything turned out to be fine. And then Trump was like, people were telling Trump, you know, maybe you should delay going to the RNC for a couple of days. Excuse me. And Trump at first, he was going to delay going to the RNC for a couple of days out of you know, an abundance of caution. But then Trump today was like, no, we're not letting any shooter get in our way. We're not letting an assassination attempt in my way. I am going to Milwaukee. And you got to have respect for that, man. You really do. No matter what Trump has said or done, and God knows I have my differences with Trump, and I wasn't going to vote for him because I'm really upset at how Trump has changed, and I think Trump is a shell of his former self, and I don't like Trump's advisors, and I don't like how Trump is constantly sucking the dick of Israel, and I don't like that Trump is not going to do anything to fight back against the left, which is what I care about. I don't believe Trump's going to defund the Department of Education. I really hope he will, but I don't believe he will. And so there are so many things that have led to my ongoing consternation with Trump. And and also MAGA voters are awful. Not all of them. I'm not personally talking at you. If you just got offended, I'm not personally talking to you, okay? I'm just saying that MAGA people, as a general rule, are insufferable cunts. I can say that word, right? It's almost midnight. They're insufferable. And I don't like being around them, and I don't agree with them. And I think that the biggest obstacle in the way to defeating the left in this country is the conservative right. The conservative right sucks. They suck real bad on 19 different levels. However, even I have to admit that in the past 24 hours, I kind of have that old Trump feeling again. That feeling where it's like, you have to vote for him. You just have to. Like, there's no getting around it. Again, Trump got shot in the ear. Like, there are just moments in history there where you just have to get over whatever nonsense you have, and you have to say what's right is right, and he needs to win, and he needs to win in an epic landslide, and it shouldn't even be close, and he got shot in the ear for all of us. And my greatest hope, and I really do mean this, my greatest hope is that Trump will allow this moment to light a fire under his ass, and that we will see the return of the old Trump. Because old Trump was great, man. And I gotta be honest, I missed the Trump of 2016. I was still a Democrat. I wasn't paying attention. I missed that time. And so I want to see old Trump back. I'm not going to guarantee that I'm going to vote for him, but I'm significantly, because, and the reason I'm not going to guarantee that I'm going to vote for him is I don't know what's going to happen between now and then. If Trump selects Nikki Haley as vice president, that might be enough to be like, okay, Trump, like, you learn nothing from getting shot in the ear, Trump. If you select Nikki Haley or JD Vance as vice president, you learned nothing from getting shot in the ear. And so, like, I can't give you 100% confirmation because we've got a long way until election day, and there is an absolute possibility that Trump could still do something so stupid that I just wouldn't be able to get around it. But I will say that I am significantly closer to voting for him today than I was 48 hours ago. 48 hours ago, there was no way in this universe I was going to vote for Trump. And I had a whole laundry list of reasons. But today I'm like, Trump, I'll put it this way. My vote is Trump's to lose. It's his to lose. If he does something stupid, if he taps people for important positions that are just untenable, like Trump could select anyone for vice president that he wants now because he's going to win. Like Trump is going to win. He doesn't need to pick an establishment pick. He doesn't need to pick someone to make someone else happy. He is going to win. So let's see what he does with it, okay? He has a lot of freedom now. And I want Trump to do the right thing. My fingers are crossed that he's going to do the right thing. He looked pretty pissed yesterday, if I'm honest about it. That was my first reaction. Anyway, we'll do more pontificating about whether or not I'm going to vote for Trump this week. I'm going to be covering the RNC all week on this channel, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you have mounted the like button. Of course, mounting the like button lets YouTube know to recommend the stream to more people. Anyway, do you know who's definitely not going to vote for Trump? Destiny. Now, I know that probably wasn't like that's not like breaking news or anything. Obviously, Destiny's not going to vote for Trump. Destiny's a raging liberal. But like Destiny has come a bit unhinged in the past day. Did anyone actually listen to the Twitter space from today? Because I was in it for part of it, and it was, listen, I'm not opposed to saying bitchy things on the internet. I'm not opposed to like yelling people on at I'm not opposed to yelling at people on the internet. I'm not opposed to insulting people on the internet. But Destiny was a little unhinged today. Just a smidgen. And he did this Twitter space. And we're very lucky that Destiny streamed the Twitter space, because if Destiny hadn't streamed the Twitter space, there was no recording of the Twitter space. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. I have to give a big shout out. To Auntie G over on Twitter, because Destiny did record the Twitter space, and that's what we're going to watch tonight. But Auntie G, after the Twitter space, got me an audio recording of it, even though the Twitter space wasn't recorded. So I don't know what mystical powers Auntie G has, but like, let's just not do anything to piss Auntie G off, okay? Because like Auntie G was able to manifest a recording immediately after the space that didn't seem to exist before, and I don't know how that happened, but we're gonna keep that in mind. So shout out to Auntie G on Twitter. Sent me a backup recording, but since Destiny did record and stream the Twitter space, I figured we would just watch that. And then of course we have that recording that Auntie G got as a backup, just in case anything happens to this. I mean, just in case Destiny decides to take it down. So I guess we do have a backup as well. So we will be watching it. But just in case people didn't see some of the tweets that Destiny has been sending out, I've got a whole bunch of them listed here. This was the first one. If we learned anything today, I hope it's realizing the importance of principles I've stressed many times on stream before. Having a firearm means absolutely nothing if you don't spend time at the range practicing with it. So Destiny was upset about the marksmanship of the shooter. These aren't even all the tweets, guys. Here he's got conservatives when the guy they wildly support, who tried to lead an insurrection against the government and then was granted absolute criminal immunity to save him from his federal cases, gets shot at. Okay. He retweeted this guy who tweeted a shot full of blood from I bet that's from Corey, who was tragically killed by one of the bullets meant for Trump. And Destiny says, all I see is Biden up +1 in Pennsylvania. Okay. Jordan Peterson got wind of this. Now, of course, Jordan Peterson recently interviewed Destiny. And you know, we can all remember back to a week ago, right? When Jordan Peterson wrote a whole fucking sonnet about Nick Fuentes being a psychopathic rat. Now, I've been listening to Nick Fuentes pretty regularly since October 7th. I've never heard Nick Fuentes celebrate the death of someone. I've never heard of Nick Fuentes doing anything close to what Destiny's done in the past couple days. And yep, I've got Nick's response. Don't worry, Brucey. I've got it. I've got it. Don't worry. But I just think it's a little funny that Jordan Peterson made this big show on Twitter, and his daughter made this big show on Twitter about how Nick Fuentes is a psychopathic rat and all the Groypers are psychopathic rats. And then when Destiny is literally kind of like celebrating the death of someone that was at the Trump rally, Jordan Peterson says, This is a bridge too far, Destiny. This is a tad much. So a little odd there. Nick actually said earlier tonight, he said, when you see Destiny gloat over the number of, when you see Destiny gloat over the murder of innocent Trump supporters, never forget that he was warmly received by Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson, all because he was the only prominent liberal who supported Israel after October 7th. That's all they care about. Yep. Yep. I think that's right. Destiny responded to Jordan Peterson. Destiny said, "You have ran around bad mouthing me on every show you've been on since our conversation. Lol. You are part of the problem more than most people. You're a disgrace to your profession and mankind." Well, I guess the broken clock is right twice a day. So we can give Destiny credit where credit is due. He is, he's correct about that. Destiny says that he won't condemn the assassination attempt on Trump until Republicans condemn the insurrection. Apparently, he still believes that January 6th was an insurrection. Like, does anyone actually believe? I didn't know people actually believed that. Okay. This is the woman that actually hosted the Twitter space, and Destiny kind of laid into her. You are a fucking hack. Did you not see a crowd of people chanting to hang Pence? Did you not see crowds of people bashing in the heads of the state capitol police? I mean, I didn't really see that, but okay. Which videos were? And he just goes on. Destiny was having some feelings. It's been having a lot of feelings. Yeah, can we get some more likes on the video, please? Come on, guys. This is a pathetic performance. Come on, I'm up late doing this for you guys. Let's get the like button mounted. If you don't feel like mounting the like button, you can give the like button a kiss on the cheek, a high five. You can hold hands. You can put your arm around the like button. You can slap the like button on the ass. Whatever you want to do, just let's get those likes up. Come on, come on. We're at rookie numbers right now. I appreciate it. Destiny said, if I've offended anyone with my recent tweets, I like to make things right. DM me and I'll buy you a front row seat to the next Trump rally. This is the fucking retard that got killed at the Trump rally. Fucking LMAO. This is the man who died protecting his daughter and his wife at the Trump rally. Destiny kind of seems to be celebrating a man's death just because he disagreed with him politically. That seems very nice. This was a reply to something Lauren Southern tweeted, but she deleted it, so I don't know what it was. Destiny says, a person in a crowd cheering for and supporting a traitor to this country caught astray. I'm so sad, please. Also very nice. And then he did this Twitter space. And this is what we're going to be watching tonight and listening to. And if you missed it from earlier, you are in for a treat. You're in for a treat. But before we get into that, guys, just a couple quick things. Number one, please remember that I do have a Telegram channel now. I just recently launched it. So if you want to get updates and notifications when I go live, when I post new things on my Substacks and stuff like that, please make sure to join the Telegram channel. That's t.me/unwokex. That is where I'm updating people. I probably should have started a Telegram channel a long time ago. I just didn't for whatever reason. But now it is there for people who use that and you want notifications when I go live for impromptu late night streams like this or that sort of stuff. So please make sure you join the channel. Also, I wanted to let people know that I did, people asked me for this and I wasn't sure I was going to do it. I wasn't sure. Hang on. Get the iconic Trump shirt. Now, the thing of it is I wasn't going to do a t-shirt for this because I was like, that's in poor taste and I didn't want to do it. But then I was thinking about it last night and I was like, you know what? Trump looked like this is one of the great American moments. Trump at 80 years old, getting shot, getting back up again, raising his fist to the crowd and saying, fight, fight, fight. It just is one of the great American moments. And so when I made this shirt today, I was like, I don't want it to be about, I want it to be a celebration of like, this is just, I mean, we are all going to remember yesterday. And we aren't going to remember yesterday because Trump got hit in the ear. We're going to remember yesterday based on Trump, how Trump got up and how he showed us that ain't nothing going to stop that guy. And the reason I wanted to make this too is I really do think that like voting for Trump right now is a giant middle finger to the establishment. And I wanted to celebrate that. And I'm sorry, I think I made a cool shirt. You can only get it in black. I've only got it on a t-shirt right now. Usually I put my merch on other stuff. I just wanted to do it on a t-shirt. So this is going to be a limited edition in my store, and it will be 25% off this week only. The discount is automatically added at checkout. So if you go to the Unwoke Art store, unwokeart.com, link in the description below. I also did put the link in the chat. You can pick up this shirt now. You can pick up other merch too, but you will automatically get 25% off the t-shirt in the Unwoke Art store. And again, I'm trying to be respectful about it. I don't want, like, it really is about, to me, celebrating that Trump is a badass, man. I have never seen anything as badass as what Trump did yesterday, and I can't get over that. And so I don't think this is a sad occasion. I think this is an occasion in which Trump showed us what it's like to be a leader and what it's like to defy the system at all odds and say, F you, I'm going to do what I want and you can't stop me. And I don't care if you just shot me in the ear. I'm going to get right back up and I'm going to keep going. And I just think that's awesome. So that's why I made the shirt. If you want to get the shirt, go ahead. It's available. If you don't want to get the shirt, you don't have to get the shirt, man. And that's fine too. All purchases do go to support the work I'm doing in terms of exposing the far left. I do appreciate it. One more thing, and we're gonna do some super chats, and then we're gonna do the stream. Where do you get the singles? Actually, the single I opened the show with is currently on Spotify. Just look up Gnostic Sex Cult. It's on Spotify. So just to if you want to piss off James Lindsay, you can do that. Let me just get up the sound set up for this. And I've gotten some super chats since I started. So I just want to make sure we take those super chats before we get started. Janet says she ordered her Trump shirt. I appreciate that, Janet. I hope you enjoy that. Guys, anytime you get merch from me, take a picture of the merch when it comes in, tag me on it on Twitter, send it to me in a DM, send it to me in an email, whatever. I would love to see the merch when it comes in. And I appreciate the support. Thank you, Bot, for the super chat. Yep, Trump is American tough. I appreciate that. Divine says, here is your OnlyFans offering. LOL. Enjoy. Hey, I appreciate that. And Divine also says, the design is a great one with the color on the flag and him in black and white. Yeah, I love this Trump black on black MAGA hat. I just think it's so badass. And so some of the designs I've been doing lately have had that kind of black on black feel, just because I just think it looks really, really cool. All right, guys. Well, this Twitter space is going to go on for a while. So let's just get right into it. Again, mount the like button for me. Please make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. Please make sure you're subscribed on Rumble. Take a deep breath. Let's get this party started.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining the space. Destiny, I'm going to invite you as a speaker, so you just have to... Okay, we can wait for a minute until he connects, and when he is connected, he can
rip
unmute
Richard
himself
Simmons.
and
How
speak.
sad, but he lived a
Can
good
you hear me
life.
now, Destiny?
But rest in peace, Richard
Yeah,
Simmons.
can you hear me? Hello, hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can everyone by show of hands, can you guys hear us okay? Just drop like a heart or a hello.
I'm muting them for a sec.
If you can
This is
hear
going to
us
be
okay.
how every single
Reactions
conservative debate
are
should go. If
that
you debate a
heart with the
conservative,
plus in the
this is
bottom
how
right-hand
every
corner.
single one should go
It's not
until the
4
election.
hours. Don't worry.
This is
It's
gonna
not
be a
4
walk
hours.
to that, okay?
So I just wanted to create this space because there was obviously a huge event happening yesterday. And as maybe some people saw, there's a lot of arguing going on about Trump and who he is and all that stuff. So I just wanted to chat with Destiny, hopefully respectfully, and just hear his thoughts about why he says the things that he does about Trump, and maybe share some of my own thoughts. Maybe he'll dance circles around me, maybe not, because he's a very skilled debater. I'm not a live streamer. He does this for a living. This is just a hobby of mine. So thanks, Destiny, for coming on and chatting. And yeah, where did you want to start?
Yeah, I guess firstly, so what is your current political affiliation? Or like,
Well,
who do you
I'm in
like support or whatever? Like,
I'm in Canada. I'm actually in Canada. I don't know if you know that about me. I'm in Canada and I'm conservative.
In Canada, and you're conservative. Okay, so I
Yeah.
can assume that you support Donald Trump or whatever.
Yeah, I think he did a good job when he was president. I don't think he, he's the monster that people make him out to be, or like the criminal that people make him out to be. I think, as brash as
Thank
he
you,
is, and some of the
Doc.
things that he says in a bombastic
No
Trump way,
e-girls
I
ever,
don't
not
think
even
he's
once.
as bad as the media tries really, really hard to portray him.
Okay. Do you acknowledge that
Yeah.
he led an insurrection against the U.S. government and he tried to steal power?
I don't think he did that. I don't see evidence of him saying he incited an insurrection. I think I watched him call for peace on video. I saw the tweet that he put out saying we want peace, we're the party of law and order. Like I don't think that you can ascribe insurrection to those words.
Are you aware that Donald Trump organized 7 different sets of people to fake an elector vote in 7 different states in the United States with the goal of sending those elector votes to Congress and then begging and then pressuring Mike Pence, first with words and then with violence that he directed on the 6th, in order for him to unilaterally toss the election by either selecting those electorate votes, the fake ones that he submitted, or by having the House choose Donald Trump to be the president against the will of the American people? Are you aware of any of that?
I haven't seen him using
So
any
what?
kind of threats of violence against
So he
Mike
should be
Excuse me.
shot?
I'm sorry. Excuse me. I didn't say anything about a threat of violence. I don't know who you're talking to or what you're responding to. I just asked you very specifically for the thing that I just laid out. Are you aware of any of that? Do you know any of that?
I believe you said something about violence.
Okay. Let me restate. Okay.
Okay.
Donald
All right.
Trump organized 7 different sets of people, okay, in 7 different states to send in fake votes, okay, to Congress essentially, in order to pressure Mike Pence, okay. First it was
Okay,
words.
pressure Mike Pence. Okay.
Well,
pressure.
first it was with
Okay.
words. He begged him to do it behind the scenes multiple times, and Pence said no because he's not a traitor to the fucking country. And then the second time is he called his crowd of people that he gathered on the 6th and then sent them to the Capitol grounds to protest, with the goal of getting Pence to choose the fake electorate votes that he sent in to Congress. Are you aware of any of that?
What is the evidence for that, though?
It's laid out in the indictments, and nobody denies any of it. If you want, you can go to YouTube, and if you want, I'll wait 5 minutes right now for you. You can go on YouTube, and you could go false.
I just want to comment on this. And listen, I don't watch Destiny because I just don't care that much. But like, I will say this: he seems unnecessarily agitated, which to me tells me that Destiny is probably has probably come to the conclusion that Donald Trump's going to win and there's no way around it, and he's really pissed off about that. And so he, instead of being an adult and managing his emotions like a big boy, is going to be projecting his emotions and angst and frustration and anger onto everyone else, and that's why he's being an asshole.
Electorates try to enter Capitol, and there are videos that will pop up. The first one says, Republicans try to deliver their own electoral votes to Michigan Capitol. There are people that are being charged in multiple states right now for perjuring themselves, saying that they were the duly elected, appointed representatives of their state to cast their electorate vote. Nobody denies this. Nobody denies this. Okay? So you're not aware of any of this.
I haven't heard of that story, no.
That's another way of saying you're not aware of any of this. So, okay, so step 1, okay, let's assume that what I just said is true because nobody's denying it. And Trump's defense against this is to ask for criminal immunity. You're aware of that, right? That Donald Trump's way of defending himself was to go before the Supreme Court and say, I need to be immune from criminal prosecution. Are you aware of that?
Well, I wasn't following it that closely, so no.
Okay, well, are you aware that Donald Trump, his attorney went before the Supreme Court and was granted criminal immunity for the first time in all of U.S. history for an ex-president, that now the office of the presidency enjoys absolute criminal immunity and presumptive criminal immunity for basically
he doesn't
every
deserve to
action
get
the president
shot.
can take. Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Okay. How many videos have you seen of Joe Biden stumbling down some stairs or having slurs or forgetting words in his speech?
Well, there's
Yeah.
they are floating around. I've seen some of those.
Seems
Yep.
unnecessarily angry.
Do you understand that? Do you understand that this is a problem? That you have absolutely no fucking idea what's going on in my country, what's going on in my. Let me finish, please, and then you can go talk as long as you want.
Sure.
You don't know what's happened in my country. You don't know what's happened with my government. You don't know any of the things that Donald Trump has been involved in. But I bet if I go through your Twitter, I can find 50 million videos of Joe Biden with his stupid fucking open mouth or slurring some word. Do you think that's an issue?
Well, I think the president being fit is an issue. Yeah, for sure.
What about being
He
an
needs to be-
insurrectionist?
I don't believe he's an insurrectionist.
Oh, what did I just lay out then that either doesn't qualify for insurrection or isn't true from what I just said? Or if you want, you can admit that you have no idea what I'm talking about and you need to go back to the drawing board before even beginning to have an opinion on this topic.
Well, I can have an opinion because free speech exists, so I can say what I want to say.
Exactly.
First of all,
you
no.
know-
Number one, no. You're a Canadian. You have no guarantee of free speech. Number two, that's obviously not what I meant. You obviously are entitled to an opinion. I'm saying that was a shorthand for to have a well-formed opinion that merits consideration. Right? If you're not even aware of any of the major events happening in this country, I don't know how you can have a strong opinion.
If her opinion doesn't merit consideration, then why is Destiny doing a Twitter space with her? Hey, Sam.
On whether or not Donald Trump is an insurrectionist.
Good to see you.
Well, I see what the media says about the current events, and I see the media pushing and saying things like, to serve his country, President Biden should drone strike Donald Trump. And to me, that seems like not very appropriate thing to say for as an advice for the current sitting president. And that doesn't seem like a strong uphold of democracy or decency, as they would say, because they said decency was on the ballot.
If Rachel Maddow told you that walking on sidewalks was dangerous, would you walk in the street?
No.
Then why are you citing me something that the media said and then giving me your 4-year? Do you have children? Do you react to everything like a child? If the media says something you don't like it, do you just take the opposite position without giving a single original thought yourself into what you're actually being told? Or is your entire ideology defined by reactionism?
No, I'm not ideologically
true.
possessed. I agree with certain things that sometimes the liberals say, and I can disagree with certain things that conservatives do.
Okay.
It's not.
That's
it's
fine.
Not like, yeah, it's not like I watch state Canadian media.
Well, let's actually entertain this question. Does anyone like that Destiny is like this? I have no idea. I don't watch Destiny. I know who he is, but I have no idea even what he's about or what he believes. So 1 in the chat if you like that Destiny is like this. 2 in the chat if you do not like that Destiny is like this. 3 in the chat if you don't care either way. So 1 is that you like Destiny like this. 2 is that you do not like Destiny like this. 3 is you don't care, man. You're just bored on a Sunday, now Monday evening, and you want some entertainment.
Yeah, and take the opposite stance of everything they say, because twice a day a broken clock is right. So
cool.
It's not
okay.
An issue
So then
for me.
I think we can going back to the insurrection thing. If every part of what I laid out was true, if Donald Trump slated false electors in states, had that sent to Congress, and knowingly gathered a crowd of 50,000 whatever people, and then sent them to the Capitol building in the hopes that they would protest to pressure the fake electors being chosen. Do you think any of that qualifies as an insurrection?
Would I have to be an expert in insurrection law to state that one way or another?
But you don't have to be you don't have to be an expert in insurrection law to say confidently that it wasn't.
Well, perhaps you're right about that, but like I said, I refer to his actual words that he put out on social media and on video, saying that he's requesting for peace.
You understand that came after he was begged for hours while he and his crony, corrupt fuck Giuliani made phone calls to sitting congressmen inside of the lockdown building, right? That he was calling them, pressuring them to delay the certification of the vote.
Can I just say, Destiny is absolutely acting like a woman here. And I've kind of come to the conclusion that most men on the internet, not all men, but most men, they act like women. They're so annoying. He's being so dramatic. He's blowing everything out of proportion.
Hours after that he finally went on Twitter when the insurrection had failed and said, okay, guys, we need to go home.
Well, like I said, I wasn't following it 24/7.
Then why do you have an opinion on it? You
Well,
weren't following
because-
24/7. You were following it 0-0. You have no idea what happened on any of this. Why do you think you should have an opinion on any of this?
Well, I told you
Why
I
are you
can have an
talking to her
opinion if I
then?
want.
You can, but
And-
then people should like make fun of you and like bully the fuck out of you for it, right? You've literally no idea about any of this. It wasn't that what our original tweet was over? Is that I think I called you didn't I call you a hack fuck? It seems like I was correct, right? You have absolutely no idea about literally any of these issues.
Yes, okay. Maybe I haven't followed the case as closely as you have.
Hold
but
on, not closely. You don't even have any idea. You have no concept. You don't know anything about what I'm talking. You don't even know when an electoral vote is, do you?
Of course I do.
Yep.
Of course
might
I
be
do.
why.
It's what the United States has for their electoral process. We have a similar process here in Canada. It's not majority vote. It's not democracy. It's a constitutional republic.
Okay, if you know what an electoral vote is, do you think it's acceptable for people to try to fake them like Donald Trump did in 7 different states?
Well, like I said, what is the evidence that he faked those? What is your evidence for that?
What would you want to see? What if I could show you hypothetically 7 different certifications filled out with false electors? I can send you a YouTube video of these people literally gathering outside in Michigan in the courthouse. Hold on, here's a YouTube video for that. I can go on Obsidian and I can find you the if anybody has a quick link to the like they have photographs of all of the of all the fake things that they filled out, pretending that they were the.
They also have photographs and video of people, stuffing ballots and bringing out bags and security footage from places where people are voting, and they were putting up tarps over the windows. And
are you aware? Are you aware that every single one of those was investigated, and that every single one of those was heard before a court? And that every single one of these, except for one, was shot down, a lot of them by conservative judges that Trump himself, or at least his administration, appointed?
Well, like I said, I wasn't following this case 24/7, so no, I wasn't following the procedures that came out of that.
Okay, but you've seen pictures of it, right? Are you embarrassed or ashamed that you've had like strong opinions about this because of pictures that you've seen, because of dipshits like Elon Musk feeding you lies on Twitter?
Dustin, you don't have to be that rude. I'm being really respectful.
Hold on. No, wait. Hold on. I need you to understand something so much. Okay. You're not being respectful. You're actually fucking evil. Okay. This idea that you can walk around and as long as that's great. I don't care. The idea that you can walk around and as long as you say the worst type of shit imaginable in a nice enough voice that you should be treated with respect is absurd. Right? In no other function in life would anybody ever be treated that way. You have no concept of anything related to the insurrection. You have no concept of what's even happened aside from what you've seen, I guess, on Twitter and the media. But you're out here tweeting along with every other insurrectionist supporting fuckhead in my country about how Donald Trump is treated
Can you imagine being married to this man? I know he had an unconventional marriage, but like, can you imagine?
fairly in the media and Joe Biden isn't fit to be president? Like, you have no idea what you're talking about for any of this, though.
Hey, do you think it's okay for Joe Biden voters to, make like a life-sized version of Trump and like put a fake guillotine over him, or to hold up bloody severed heads of him and things like that? Do you think that contributes to anything that's happening in the States?
Nope. I think that to the first question, I would say, no, that's not acceptable. Were Democrats or protesters doing that outside of the Capitol building, except instead of a guillotine of Trump, were they talking about Mike Pence? And were they doing that because the president of the United States said that they needed to pressure Mike Pence, and that when Mike Pence wasn't accepting the pressure, he tweeted out that Pence has failed us? Did that happen? Do you remember any of that? Or is that another thing that's conveniently mind-wiped from your brain?
I saw that tweet. So I saw that. You don't have to insult me. Like, there's no need for that. I saw that tweet, and I saw some people calling for Mike Pence for whatever they were calling for him.
To be clear, hold on, just to be clear, they were calling for his assassination because he wasn't willing to finish the insurrection, to finish the coup that Donald Trump and Eastman had set up for him.
Okay,
just to be clear,
well,
yeah.
I don't believe that a few crazies represent the majority.
They do.
But
they do. Why would you?
Does Destiny really believe that if Trump had somehow been successful in getting the result of the election overturned, that would have been so like just beyond that it would have warranted him getting shot in the head? Like, is that really what we're talking about here? Destiny really believes that if Trump had legally figured out a way to overturn the results of the election by gaming the system, or, you know, their legal challenges being accepted, that that would have been an offense that was so just severe that it would necessitate him getting shot in the head? Like, because that kind of seems to be the argument that he's making, that what Trump did was so horrible, and not even just Trump, all Trump's supporters, everyone who supported Trump. So not only is Trump getting shot in the head for finding a legal way around the election results in 2020, now all Trump's supporters deserve that too. That just seems a bit much for me. It wouldn't have been the end of the world for anyone if that had happened. Bro, I couldn't imagine him talking to a man like that in real life. It's working out okay. Like, WTF? Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine him talking to anyone like this in real life, but I'm gay and I'm not attracted to him. He is not masculine enough for me. I don't know how anyone, man or woman, can be attracted to him, to be honest. Like, can you imagine? I tweeted this earlier, but I genuinely feel sorry for every woman that has ever had sex with Destiny. And it's not just because, listen, I've heard rumor, and maybe some people in the chat who know more about this can confirm or deny. I've heard rumor that Destiny's dick is weird. And, like, his dick is, like, there's something to do with the foreskin on his dick where I don't know exactly what it is, but I've heard his dick is weird. But that might even seem to be, like, the least of his problems, because I can't imagine sleeping with this person. Just on an energy level. Like, gross.
Say that. The
I don't
president
think
called
so.
them there in a speech. He gave them exactly the words that they needed. He said that Mike Pence is the one who needs to toss basically the election for us. He's the only one that we can rely on. He told them that we need to make sure that our electorate slates are counted. And then he sent them to the Capitol building to pressure the people there to do whatever it is that they were supposed to do, which was to steal the election.
But did he tell them to call for his assassination? Did he incite them to do that? Is that what you're saying?
Did he incite them? Yes, he laid out every single words. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, ma'am. So he needs to say the exact words. You need to go assassinate someone for him to be culpable. In that case, you would agree then that there is not a single Democrat in leadership that you would hold responsible for any amount of violence, right? Unless, are you going to show me? Are you going to show me some kind of tweet or video of a Democrat saying we need to kill conservatives? Have you seen a single one of those?
Yes.
I've seen some crazy statements coming from Democrats.
I didn't ask for crazy statements. I asked, were there explicit calls for violence where they said we need to go kill conservatives?
Yes.
Okay, so, like, I don't have a photographic memory. I believe I've seen similar things, maybe not by elected Democrats, but Democrat voters.
Oh, wait, excuse me. Democrat voters? What does that have to do with anything? I was talking about the president of the United States. And now you're going to appeal to an average everyday citizen like they have the same level of moral responsibility or political culpability?
But Trump did not call for his followers to go and do something insanely violent.
Yes, he did. He called for them to go march to the Capitol grounds and to protest the certification of the vote in the United States of America, to prevent the peaceful transfer of power, which is what they did for some number of hours.
A protest is a legal proceeding. You can protest peacefully.
Did they protest peacefully?
Mostly peacefully.
I believe they did.
Really? How did the ones get inside the building?
A guy. I watched a guy saying we need to go into the Capitol, and people were around him saying, no, we do not need to do that. There was law enforcement nearby. They were saying, this is what these crazies are saying. You need to do something. Why aren't you doing anything? I saw windows.
How did they get into the building?
Well, from video footage, it shows them just walking in as
it's our building. First of all, yeah, they were let in by the Capitol Police. I saw a video of that. But furthermore, it's our building. Every single one of us pay for that building. It is a public building. They are there by our consent. So, in addition to them actually being let in by the feds in real life, which has been confirmed on video, it's our fucking building. It's public fucking property, and we have the right to be there.
Hold on,
security
excuse me.
guards
Do you
are-
think that the first people that got into the Capitol, do you think they just walked in?
Well, did you see them just walk in?
No, they didn't, because I actually watched the videos, ma'am. Have you seen any of them? Have you seen any footage that doesn't come from Tim Pool, Elon Musk, Steven Crowder, The Daily Wire, Tucker Carlson? Have you watched any original
Yes,
reporting on this whatsoever?
yes,
Or have you
I've-
literally exclusively watched whatever conservative shit down your throat?
No. Okay.
So then let me ask, hold on,
Like,
real
it's
clearly.
the-
Wait, real
just one sec.
clearly.
Can I
How did
respond?
the first people get into the Capitol building?
Can I respond?
Sure.
Would you consider CNN original content, or like?
I'm just curious if you watched any non-right wing,
content?
like any actual reporting on it, not like a pundit.
Do you consider CNN in
CNN is a
places like
news
that?
network. There are pundits that are on CNN, just like Fox News is a news network, and there are pundits that are on Fox News.
Destiny thinks
There's
CNN is
reporting, which is when
reliable.
people do
Oh, wow.
reports. Usually there are cameras involved, and then there are pundits. So people like Tucker Carlson or Anderson Cooper would be a pundit.
Yes, I understand what you mean. Okay, I was just trying to clarify. So you're telling me that there's video that exists of people violently approaching the building and breaking their way in? Is that what you're saying?
You can't honestly be seriously asking me that question. Are you not aware that it is uncontested that the first people that went into the building broke in? Are you telling me right now that you don't believe that to be the case?
Well, I'm just asking you if there's footage of
So
it. that
true.
There
exists.
is
That's what I'm
plenty of
asking.
footage, yes. And now I'm asking you, are you under the impression that the first people that got into the Capitol building that they walked in?
From what I've seen, there was security guards standing. People were walking in, and I even recall, I hope this is accurate, I even recall some saying, I don't agree with this, but he was just letting them walk in. So yeah, that's what I saw. And the only violence that I saw that was happening, like broken windows or the guy shouting there, standing, I think his name was Ray Epps. I think he was standing and shouting and saying, "We need to go into the Capitol." And people around him were appalled at what he was saying.
Nope,
and
you're
they were
not true.
shouting,
That's
"No,
not
no, we
true. You're
don't."
lying and you didn't see that, okay? You saw that the night
Yes.
before. No, because I'm sorry. I watched all of these videos with Ray Epps. It's one of the favorite of you conservatards, okay, to try to blame everything on him, all right?
Well,
Which is
you don't have
also...
to insult, like,
No, there
You're
is.
doing
You
well.
need to be.
insult
You
me.
needed to be bullied so much more in life, okay? Jesus fucking Christ, okay? The
You don't-
videos
but
of
you
Ray
don't know
Epps
anything about
calling...
my life.
I know
Why
enough
do you-
about you. I know enough about you to know that your opinion is worthless and that you are one of the strongest arguments for why there should be an IQ limit to actually get onto social media and post opinions about politics.
Is that what
Should
is
be
that
an
how
IQ
free speech
limit to
works?
post on
Destiny?
social
No,
media.
unfortunately, I guess not.
Okay.
Like, are you for free speech?
Generally. Good thing we're on a
Okay,
social
so-
media platform that's privately owned right now, so freedom of speech isn't really a topic for discussion here. What do you think free speech means in the United States, by the way? Do you think that means that corporations have to host every single thing that's said on them?
Well, I view.
You know what Destiny is like? He's like a retarded robot, that a retarded autistic robot, where Destiny has memorized all these talking points that he's just used over and over and over and over and over again, and he has all these debate techniques that are designed to like gaslight people into believing things that aren't true, that he's just used these gaslighting techniques over and over and over and over and over again, and he's like a retarded autistic robot that just like throws out whatever argument might be peripherally relevant to whatever he's talking about, and he does it in a way where he's using these gaslighting techniques to make the other person like feel off kilter and not exactly know how to respond to him. This is all just technique. I hope everyone sees this. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. This is speaking with confidence. This is speaking aggressively. This is using different techniques to deflect what people are saying. This is not a good faith, honest conversation. This is Destiny being an asshole because he wants to feel superior to the person he's talking to. And the only way Destiny can feel superior, because he's really not very smart and he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, but the only way that he can feel superior and he can feel like he can pump himself up and make himself feel good is by putting other people down and making other people feel like shit. Hang on, I got a super chat that came in. Let me grab that super chat real quick. Where'd it go? Where did the super chat go? I do think this is a result of Destiny taking too much Adderall for years, paired with an ego that won't let himself be wrong. Yeah, certainly that's absolutely part of it, but he's just gaslighting. This is why I don't do debates, guys. It's not about truth. It's not about having intellectual integrity. It's just about who can gaslight the person the best, who can insult the person the best, who can, deflect the best. That's all it is.
The space that we're currently on, Twitter, as the town digital square. So I believe free speech should apply on this platform, because no one stands in the town square anymore. It's kind of an outdated concept. So
Okay, and if I declare
become.
your basement the town square, can me and my friends go hang out there and like have some drinks? Why would I care what your individual determination is for some particular space online? You realize that it's totally irrelevant to anything that exists in law or the Constitution, right?
Okay, so how do you see free speech then? So you see that this platform is.
I have absolutely no desire. I have no desire to discuss this topic with you. Maybe for another time. But
Okay.
You're unaware then?
Jeff!
Because I can start linking you like video, like for
Thanks,
all the
Jeff.
violent
Appreciate
videos
you.
that you saw of people that were breaking in or of people that were fighting cops or whatever. Where do you think that came from? Do you think it was like just lifted from Baltimore and they said it was the Capitol building, or?
Like there was a crowd of people in front of the White House. So what do you mean like lifted from Baltimore? I don't understand what you mean.
For the people that were breaking in, how do you think?
Yeah,
why were they breaking in?
I saw windows being broken, and I saw people saying, "What are you doing?" And then I saw law enforcement being around and not doing anything about it. And I presume the law enforcement that's there on the grounds of this official building, should have done something about it, but they didn't, and that was confusing. And so, and the majority of the people were there, as you said, protesting under allegedly Trump directing them there to go and protest and be violent and whatever it is that you said.
Real.
Like
don't be gaslit.
I think they were opposing the actions were happening.
Why do you think the cops didn't stop them?
I don't know. Why wouldn't they stop them?
Because there weren't enough of them, because nobody knew that Donald Trump was going to invite and send his whole crowd of insurrectionists to the Capitol building to try to delay the certification of the vote.
Well, why wasn't there enough? Like, if people thought that he was so bad, why wouldn't they bring reinforcements?
It's not really relevant to the question.
Why not?
Because it's not relevant. It doesn't have any. It doesn't contradict any of the underlying facts.
He says so.
For example, people like Pelosi and all.
No, I'm sorry.
Democrats.
Excuse me. No, that Pelosi has nothing to do with this. If your strongest counter argument is, well, maybe Pelosi should have called for more guards to fight against Trump's insurrectionists. I mean, like, what the fuck kind of argument are you even making there? Like,
I don't think he called for insurrectionists again. But if
what was it?
Like I said, if
what was he calling people? What were they going to protest?
Can I just finish the thought?
Yeah, go for it.
Can I just finish the thought? So, like, if these people who were saying Trump is literally Hitler and he's the devil and he needs to be taken out or whatever it is that they said, like, if that was their belief about him and they kept saying, Hillary said he's an illegitimate president and all these things, wouldn't like their first instinct, like they said he's a threat to democracy, he's a dictator, he's this, he's not, wouldn't their like instinct be to, on the day where they would, they thought that he would do something crazy, to make sure there was enough guards, to make sure there was enough people to stop some of the
when Hillary said that Trump was an illegitimate president, what was she referring to? You don't even know. Do you even know what speech it came from or what she was talking about? Yeah.
She was talking about Trump, and she was saying he knows he's an illegitimate president. Like, that sounds like election denial to me.
Okay, well, it's not. You should go look up the context of like some of these speeches rather than just going by the tweets that you see that are shown.
Okay, so
Hillary is
help me understand.
No, I don't. Wait. No, hold on. What I want to help you understand first is I want you to watch this, and I just want you to talk through with this. I want you to talk me through this. Okay, I'd like go to 15:30 and tell me what are we watching? What's happening here?
Why does any of this matter?
What do you mean? Like, you sent a link? You want me to go open a link?
Yeah. Are you on a computer?
None of this is relevant to all of the things that Destiny was tweeting about being really excited that, Trump supporters died.
Our phone right now.
I'm on both.
Okay. I want you to open this up and we'll just go to 15:30 and I just want to watch a little bit. I just want to watch together. I just want to see. I want you to give me your take on what's actually happening in this video.
Which link is it? There's 3 links here.
The last one I sent you. You can read the other.
By the way, guys, if you're ever in a situation and someone does this to you, Destiny is trying to control the entire argument. He's kind of trying to control what arguments people consider. He's trying to control what content is considered. He's pulled up this random video that he's probably used a million times before, and he knows exactly what's at that timestamp, and they're not going to watch any other video, and he's not going to consider any other video to be evidence at all. It's only his stuff. Don't ever allow people to do this to you. Don't ever believe that when people are trying to control the conversation like this, that they're behaving in good faith. This is all just debate tactics to keep Destiny in control, because his little ego has gotten hurt and he's freaking out and he's fucking coping live on the internet. And so he is doing his best to control the narrative, because he can't control anything else, but he can beat up and bully a girl on the internet. And so he feels pretty good about that.
First show in your own time or not. You probably won't. It doesn't matter.
Okay, it says, okay. It's 40 minutes long.
Yep. Go to 15 minutes and 30 seconds. We just have to watch a minute or two.
Why? No, you don't. No, reject the argument.
Let me know when you're there, and then we'll start it at the same time.
Okay, I'm watching it.
Oh, wait. What time are you at?
15:25.
Okay. Wait. We can start at the same time. Okay. Ready? 3,
Sure.
2, 1, go.
Hang on, let me grab this super chat real quick. Was anyone charged with insurrection at all? I think there was one guy, wasn't there? I don't really remember. Trump certainly wasn't charged with insurrection. Trump or any other citizens for January 6th, if not, his whole argument is BS. I mean, listen, man, January 6th was not an insurrection, and anyone who believes it is like a certified retard.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so people are marching with flags.
Yep. Just curious, what do you think they're going here to protest?
They're allowed to protest.
The results
they're protesting communism, honestly.
So they're going here to protest the election. Okay.
Yeah, they're allowed to protest.
Is
they're allowed to do
protesting
that.
illegal?
I didn't say. Did I say that this was illegal? No, I said that this is overall as part of an insurrection. Why is this guy kicking?
No,
wait. Why is this guy
earlier
kicking?
you said-
Stop! Don't divert.
that's
Hold on. Don't
Antifa.
divert. Protesting in and of itself is
That's
obviously
Antifa.
not illegal. I'm asking you what these people are going here to protest for. I'm just curious if you have an idea. Hold on. Wait. I paused.
Pop quiz for the chat. Is a guy who is dressed in all black with a black mask, is that a Trump supporter or is that Antifa? If you think that a person dressed in all black with a black mask and a black hat is a Trump supporter, please press 1 in my chat. If you think a person dressed in all black with a black mask is Antifa, press 2 in my chat.
Let's go back to 1556. Why is he breaking that window open when the cops are supposed to be opening it for them?
Or Fed.
At
Or
1553, you have an idea?
Antifa or Fed.
Well, like I said, I watched them break windows, and I watched other people telling them not to do this.
That's not a Trump supporter.
Okay, well, at what time are you at right now?
No way is that a Trump supporter.
15:54.
Okay, well, we'll start again in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, there's the door. Oh, they broke that one too. That's crazy. Where are the cops here that are letting them into the building? Do you know where they're at this point?
Yeah, where are they? Why is there not enough?
It's a good question.
Like if
that doesn't matter though. That's not relevant. The question right now is what's happening outside. How are they getting into the building? Before you told me the claim, if you want to change the claim to there weren't enough officers there, we can have that conversation. But you said earlier that you'd seen.
I'm not changing the claim. I clearly stated there was not enough officers, and
cool. I agree.
There wasn't.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yep.
I walked up those stairs right there.
So we don't disagree there.
Okay. Why? But so then, did the people break into the Capitol building then, or were they let in?
Most were let in.
In some of this footage, a few individuals are breaking a window and
we'll keep
pushing
watching
down a barricade.
Okay, we'll keep watching. I'm at 16:53 now. Seems like they're trying to push some cops back. No, yeah, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we've got okay. So do the cops look like they're leading them in here? Do you have that impression
No,
as you're
here
watching
they
it?
don't.
Oh,
No,
okay,
they
gotcha.
They don't look like they're leading them here at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Like I can I can acknowledge when I haven't seen some footage before. I'm not like I said, I'm not ideologically possessed to excuse anything and everything. Like I
The
can
fact
admit,
that you haven't seen this means that you are so ideologically brainwashed. You're like in another
no,
dimension.
I don't
Yes,
think
yes,
so.
you absolutely are. I'm sorry. Do these cops here, the guy with the baton that's hitting the people, do you think that he's letting them in peacefully?
Oh, clearly not. There's
Okay. Just making
clearly
sure.
not.
Okay. The gates
Okay.
here that are being pushed over, was that by the order of the cops? Oh, you see the cops walking back now. Do you think that they're letting them in peacefully now? Now are the cops leading them in? Or do you think they're retreating from a position because there are 50,000 savages that are in front of them that have all been riled up from Donald Trump and marched like a mile away to come to the Capitol building to protest the election results? Or were they just letting them in?
He's going to get much worse, guys. This escalates.
Okay, so some of them were let in, some of them approached without being held back by the law enforcement.
Okay, well now we're coming to the building. Okay, is this guy banging on the
Yep.
window, the one that broke it there? Are these guys being let in right now? That guy? Doesn't look like it. Hold on. Oh, now when that guy jumps in and the cop is spraying, what is that, silly putty? I guess it must be at him or whatever because they're playing games here. Are there already people being led into the building at some other spot at this point? Or are the first people in the building the ones that broke in?
There's a few people that broke in. Yes.
The first ones that got in broke in.
Anyway,
correct?
So okay. So just to get back.
No, wait. First, I want to hear you say the first people that got into here broke in. Correct?
The first few people, it looks like some of them were pushing their way in.
And no. What do you call it when you push through a material and you break it? That's called a break-in. They broke in, right?
So I just have a quick question for you. Like you seem extremely angry about all of this.
Yes,
and
I am.
You're fighting with a lot of people on Twitter.
Yep.
You're insulting people on Twitter.
Good. You changed direction. Good.
So
why are you so angry about this? This was 4 years
any
ago.
of what's been said by the people in the last 4 years, like I said, demonizing Trump, calling him, like literally Hitler, and celebrating, the people celebrating the attempt on his life. Do you think that contributes to what was happening in 2020?
No, maybe a little, maybe 1%.
Why not?
Here's the issue you have is because your problem is you're saying too many people are demonizing Trump. Have you ever stopped to think, well, maybe he's acting like a demon? People are treating Trump like he's a dictator. Have you ever thought that maybe he's actually acting like a dictator? The fact that you're not familiar with anything that happened you don't know any of the evidence. You don't know the entire Jack Smith indictment. You didn't even know that the first people that got into the Capitol building broke in. Why would I care what you know? You clearly know nothing about any of this.
And why are you
talking
talking
to her? You seem to have a strong opinion about it.
I don't
and
think
why are you talking to her?
That's correct. I think I know some things. I wasn't following, like I said, wasn't following it 24/7 without sleeping or reading full indictments, but
or reading any part of an indictment, right? Can you be honest about that? You haven't read a single sentence in any of the 4 indictments that Donald Trump is facing in the United States, right? Well, I guess it's only 3 now because 1 case is done. Hopefully it gets tossed. Thank God for the Supreme Court. But can you admit that you haven't read a single word of any of those indictments?
Before that, can you?
No. I need to hear you. I need to hear you say that first, so that we're on the same page, and then I'll answer whatever question you want. You haven't read a single sentence from any of those indictments.
You interrupted me when I was trying to talk to you about him being a dictator. You say he's a dictator. He's acting like a dictator.
Yeah.
Did he not relinquish his loss?
He did.
After a failed insurrection. So no, he didn't relinquish it. He lost his insurrection attempt. And then he walked away mad.
Even though he said, be peaceful, we're not violent, and all those things, you still believe that you assess for that to be part of him inciting an insurrection. Yeah?
Yeah, of course, because I have
I just want to remind everyone at this point that the reason that the Daily Wire and Jordan Peterson have lifted Destiny up is because he was a liberal that agreed with them on Israel. Nothing else mattered. None of this bullshit mattered. Not the Trump derangement syndrome. That didn't matter. All that mattered to the Daily Wire and to Jordan Peterson was that Destiny agreed with them on Israel.
Brain. And somebody saying in 1 sentence, walk peacefully doesn't magically nullify the entire hour-long speech where he's telling people you have to fight like hell or you're going to lose your country, or that we have to pressure Congress to do the right thing and count the legally slated electors. So hold on, no, I just want to be really clear, because in any other circumstance, you would understand this. But obviously, your brain is subject to the political cancer that has manifested there for at least the last 4 years, right? No, a single sentence in a 1 hour speech does not nullify the entirety of the speech. Because guess what? If I look at what happened right after the speech, do you think it's a coincidence that people went there marching, chanting 1776 on the day that the election was going to be certified, and then they broke into the building and they delayed the certification of the election? Was all of that just a coincidence?
So you think the words "fight like hell" is problematic, but you don't see other words as problematic.
But he doesn't see.
Kat, I'm so sorry. I don't evaluate this like a 4-year-old. I'm not looking at one sentence or one word, because I know what you want to say. Well, when they said fight like hell, what about when Nancy Pelosi says we need to fight? And what about what? No, it's not the same. What I'm saying is that taken as a whole, Donald Trump called people here on January 6th to do this speech while they were certifying the vote. He riled them up. He tried to rig the election, and then he sent them to the Capitol building to protest, where they broke in, where they delayed the certification of the election, which was his goal. And then he made calls.
An impassioned speech for his country is them riling his base up.
What were they going there to protest? What were they going there to protest?
Pardon?
What were they going there to protest?
They were going to protest because they thought the election was stolen from them unlawfully.
That's an insurrection.
No, it isn't.
What do you think it means if you go to protest because you think an election was stolen?
Well, Hillary thought it was stolen.
Hillary gave up that night. Hillary gave up that night. How many court cases did Hillary launch to challenge the election results? Can you tell me how many court cases was it?
How many powerful people wanted her kept out of power?
How many court cases did Hillary Clinton launch to challenge the election results?
Did she have an entire barrage of media and elected officials demonizing her and doing the same thing that they're doing to Trump, trying to prevent her from being elected? Did that happen to Hillary?
How many court cases did Hillary Clinton launch challenging the results of the election?
But did she have such a forceful barrage of, like I said, media, elected officials, and including their base, just vehemently opposing, calling her Hitler, calling her the devil, saying all these things?
Yes, the Republicans had been doing it for years. Yes. What do you think the email scandal was about? What do you think the Benghazi hearings were about? By the way, hearings that Hillary Clinton sat through, gave testimony for like 12 hours, and an investigation that she fully cooperated with. Not like the insurrectionist, traitorous president that you support, who invoked executive privilege at every single opportunity, who pled the fifth at every single opportunity, and who has now been granted absolute criminal immunity for some of his actions, so that he never has to answer for any of the things that he's done. So to go back one more time, I answered your question. To go back one more time, how many lawsuits did Hillary Clinton file challenging the result of the election?
I don't know. Did she file any?
Not a single one.
Okay. So
when did Hillary when did Hillary concede the election? It was within 1 day. Do you agree with that?
I was following closely then, so I don't know.
It was within a day.
She called him an illegitimate president.
That's great. I know. Yeah, I know you got those good talking points in. I like how that, by the way, I like how that one sentence, that's enough for you there. But one sentence from Trump saying, fight like hell. And then afterwards, is people going, fight like hell. That doesn't mean anything to you. That's very funny to me.
Fight like hell doesn't necessarily mean go and try to assassinate a VP or break windows or anything like that.
Then why is it, wait, let's say I agree with what you just said. Okay, sure. Why is it then that when that started to happen, and when staffer after staffer went in begging Trump, hey, can you call off your sycophantic savage fuck fans? Can you please do that? Donald Trump sat there drinking a Diet Coke while Ashley Babbitt got shot in the fucking face in the basement of the Capitol building dying. Can you tell me why Donald Trump didn't stop them if they weren't doing exactly what he wanted to do? Why did Donald Trump and his crooked fuck lawyer, Giuliani, make phone calls to lawmakers inside of Congress telling them, hey, maybe you should delay the vote. Maybe you should push it back a few days. Why did he do that if that wasn't exactly what he wanted his protesters to do?
How do you know what
I'm going to re-ask the
wanted
same,
them
just so
to
you know,
do
the conversation is
exactly?
over right here until you answer that question or give me an alternative thing. I'm not answering another fucking, I'm not playing this game. You have to tell me what was the point, because it seems incredibly obvious. Donald Trump gave a speech. They went to the Capitol. They broke in. They delayed the certification of the vote, which is what Donald Trump apparently wanted them to do. And for hours, while they protested, breaking windows, breaking doors, breaking on inside, he sat and he watched. And the only phone calls that he made while people were begging him to tweet to stop the violence were to try to pressure lawmakers to delay the vote. Tell me why he did that. Why did he wait for hours? Give me one possible explanation that doesn't satisfy my story.
I'm not in his mind. I'm not a mind reader. I can't ascribe.
You know why, Destiny? He doesn't fucking answer to you. He doesn't fucking answer to you, bro. You are not the boss of him. Trump can do whatever the fuck he wants. And Trump is allowed to make ill-considered decisions. And Trump is allowed to not do what you want him to do the minute that you want him to do it, bro. Trump said, I was there. Trump told everyone to march to the Capitol peacefully. What do you want him to do to control a mob?
Motivation to his thoughts that I don't have access to, Destiny.
Oh, that's great. What is your profession? What do you do professionally?
That's not relevant.
Okay, why do you think do you think that we can't ascertain the state of mind of a person ever? Do you think that's just impossible? You said that I was angry. How do you know that? Maybe this is how I always talk when I'm streaming. Why did you assume that I was angry?
I've watched you.
1 in the chat if you think Destiny is angry. 2 in the chat if you think Destiny is not angry. How would anyone possibly be able to ascertain that Destiny is angry in this conversation? It just eludes me how people might know that he's angry. 1 in the chat if you think he's angry. 2 in the chat if you do not think he's angry.
Stream, like you speak fast, and you obviously come prepared. You have your talking points, so like you
hold on. Whoa. To be clear, none of these are talking points. If you want, we can spend. I'm streaming until I got 4 hours. So if you want, we can dig as deep, or I can even just link you, because I've got whole documents that I've written on this whole scheme and this whole plot. I've read every single indictment from top to bottom. I've read every single criminal statute involved in the indictment from top to bottom, and I've read basically every fucking news article written about these indictments from top to bottom. So no, I don't have just talking points. That's what you have when you say Hillary Clinton said that Donald Trump was an illegitimate president. And also I have no idea what happened on January 6th or in the entire lead up to the insurrection for what Donald Trump did. Okay, so no, I don't have talking points.
It's an unfair statement to say I have no idea what's going on.
You didn't know anything about the whole scam. Do you know anything about Mike Eastman and the coup memo or what their plot was on January 6th? What do you think Donald Trump was talking about when he said Mike Pence needs to come?
Obscure. That seems obscure to me.
Oh, well, that's crazy because it was literally part of 2 of the massive indictments that Donald Trump is facing that he's probably going to get away from now because of the criminal immunity he's been granted. Do you think that the Jack Smith indictment is obscure? Do you think that the Georgia RICO case is obscure? Is it obscure unless it shows up in like a Twitter headline or a TikTok video for you?
I just want to point out that Destiny is so pissed off right now that he's basically spitting at his own microphone.
I don't use TikTok.
Okay, where the fuck do you get your news from that the most important stuff that's happened in this country related to this election and the current ongoing criminal cases are obscure trivia to you? You know that like the federal government hosts these indictments for everybody to read, right? They're not like hidden.
I would say that's obscure to a lot of people that aren't terminally online. Like
terminally online? I'm sorry, hold on. You think that knowing what's in a federal indictment for a prior sitting president makes you terminally online?
Yes, actually. Yes.
No.
Okay, hold on. Wait. Can you admit that what you just said was beyond fucking stupid, right? Tell me, it is actually...
The only people who have actually read that entire indictment are people who are terminally online. I'm sorry. It's autistic people who are terminally online. Normies have not read the indictment.
Reasonable that maybe I'll let you slide because you're a fucking Canadian retard, okay? But for an American citizen that's voting, maybe well, you're Canadian and you are retarded. I'm just calling it as I say it, okay? Can you? It is reasonable that an American. I don't care. I'm so over it, Kat. I don't care. I don't care that you're trying to insult me or not. What you're doing is so much worse. You don't see how evil you are, okay? It is so much worse than calling me names. If you were more informed and then you were calling me names, I'd be fine with it. That's okay. I don't give a fuck. I'm done with the civility bullshit where as long as you're speaking politely, you think that gives you carte blanche to act like the scum of the fucking earth, okay? Can you tell me it is not unreasonable for an American citizen to be familiar with what is in a criminal indictment for a past president? That's not a terminally online thing to know. Can you admit that?
It is. It is actually. It 100%
I have to
is.
disagree. I think most people don't
Yeah.
sit there reading through indictments.
True.
Okay, who do you think should? Maybe the people that are spoon feeding you the news that you consume, maybe at least they should have to read it. Do you think?
What do you mean people spoon feeding me news? People can consume news however they practice.
Sure,
Like,
but I mean, it's obvious for your news consumption. You look at a media feed that feeds you headlines, and then you read that, and that's where your opinion is formed from. So the people that are feeding you those headlines, don't you think at least they should have read the indictments?
No, just one second. I don't need news headlines. I can assess information for myself when I see it.
What is the last piece of original,
no
not
need to be-
digested
there's no
information
need
that
to be
you've
that
read?
condescending about
No,
it.
you
Like,
deserve to be
throwing-
condescended to. My country is having a fucking ex-insurrectionist, okay, try to run for president, and you support him. So no, I think it's okay for me to be highly critical
No,
of
I
how you
don't
get your
think-
news, and you don't know anything about it.
Can you imagine how like this is actually going to be glorious. I know that people want to get Destiny banned on Twitter for some of the things he's saying. I think that's a mistake. If you get Destiny banned on Twitter, we are going to miss how, like, this is going to escalate leading up to the election, guys. He's just going to get more and more and more and more and more and more and more crazy. He's going to be coping harder on the timeline. It's just the entertainment value of Destiny being on Twitter supersedes any feuds or any problems or anything like that. And then can you imagine when Trump wins, because Trump is going to win. Like Trump got shot. Like, he's going to win. There's just no way around it. Can you imagine how unhinged Destiny is going to be when Trump wins? He needs to stay on Twitter. This is like of vital importance. We need this entertainment. The world is already going to hell in a handbasket. We're like, the left is going to win. We're all fucked. We might as well enjoy ourselves, okay? Thank you, Jan, for becoming a member of the channel. I really do appreciate it. Jeff, I saw you became a gold member of the channel earlier, too. I appreciate that. Tom J, thank you for the super chat. His brain is gone. I've seen so many people worse than him. Destiny needs help, and I roll my eyes as much about Israel disagreements. Sorry, I don't care. That's fine. I see all sides, and Destiny is gone, even if he can speak fast. Yep. Sometimes it's more than just speaking fast and speaking with confidence. All right, guys, please make sure you mount the like button. If you have not already, please make sure you're subscribed on YouTube or Rumble, whatever platform you're watching on. Let's keep going.
But you have a strong opinion about it. I don't understand where you people fucking come from. I don't know why you would be so confident that you think what do you think I do all fucking day? That you're confident enough to come in here knowing absolutely fucking nothing about anything that's happening. They're like, okay, well, I'll go and have a reasonable conversation with this person.
Okay, so I don't think you're having a reasonable conversation with me. I think
Correct.
you're being extremely rude. I've been
Yep.
respectful to you. I've indulged in clicking on a link that you've asked me to look at. I've agreed with some of your points. I disagree on your assessment. I just don't, like, I see you, become extremely dysregulated, and you don't even know me, and you're telling me that, you're telling me all these things about me, that I'm this and I'm that. Like, I don't think that's is a productive conversation. I told
You're beyond having a productive conversation. Also, you're not the first. You won't be the last woman to use a psychological term on me. Don't worry, I'm immune to it at this point.
What
you
psychological
have no
term?
dysregulated. The fact that you
It's
have
just
no
an English
concept,
word.
the fact that you have no concept of any of the stuff that's even in the criminal indictments. Do you understand how absolutely fucking infuriating that is? That people don't even know what our president or our ex-president was charged with. They don't even know.
Well,
you don't think that's insane?
like I told you, there's people who follow this case 24/7.
Hold on, excuse
and
me. No, hold on. You don't get to characterize my position as follow the case 24/7.
You got to characterize mine.
What was I incorrect about?
Well, you were using ad hominem attacks to, discredit my viewpoints. And
I was not using.
mentioned.
I discredited your viewpoints by saying how stupid they were, and then I pointed to the fact they probably happened because of your news conception. I'm sorry. Wait, what point of yours do you think that I didn't discredit on a substantive basis? Just because I'm calling you names doesn't mean I'm engaged in ad hominem. I can both call you names and substantively disagree with the things that you say. Can you give me one thing you said that you feel like I haven't substantively?
Ad hominem is calling someone names and calling them stupid.
No, I'm sorry, ma'am, but an ad hominem is when you dismiss a person's argument by appealing to a personal attack. If I say you're wrong because of
Yeah, that's what
XYZ dipshit, that's not an ad hominem. That's just me calling you a name after substantively disagreeing with you. So if there's a point that you feel like you've made that I didn't address, feel free to tell me and I will address it.
Okay, as I said, I don't think there's such a need
So
for
true.
insulting me. I don't think that's called for, but maybe we can just agree to disagree on that. Ad hominems don't help in my opinion, but yeah, I'm I wasn't prepared for you being like as angry as you are. That was.
Do you understand
like I
that
said,
from my perspective, we are looking at a decent chance of the next president being a guy who, at least from my point of view, launched an insurrection.
If it was me and I was doing this, and I know she probably has thousands of people listening to this, so she feels like she needs the content, but I'm just going to be blunt. If it was me and someone was talking to me like this, I wouldn't be engaging in this conversation. I would just kick his ass out. I don't care how many people are going to be upset about it. I don't care how many people are listening. Like, at some point, and I mean, and obviously, like, I have different philosophies about content creation on the internet than most people. Most people like this sort of thing because, you know, it gets them views, whatever, people want to see it. But I don't ever think that you should put yourself in a situation where you're being blatantly and openly disrespected at every single turn. And you can try for a little while to have a good faith conversation, but at some point you just got to say, bro, you're fucking nuts and this is beneath me, and you can go into a corner and cry all you want, or you can do your own Twitter space, find some other woman to beat up, but it ain't gonna be me. At some point people have to have self-respect.
Against the government. That's where we're at right now. And everybody around the world is so interested in defending this traitorous scum fuck. Okay. And then when I press them on it, okay, whether it's you, whether it's the Constantine guy who throws his Ukrainian family under the bus to suck off fucking Putin, whether it's Tim Pool who's beating his rep so fucking tightly around his fucking head that he can't process more than 1 or 2 sentences, okay, without saying something, right? That all of these people, hold on, all of these people, he's subhuman scum, okay? That all of these people are interested in defending this guy, and nobody knows the substance of any of what he's even charged with. Do you understand? Do you understand how frustrating that is as an American who has a vested interest in seeing his country at least not turn into an authoritarian dictatorship?
I think it's far-fetched to say that if Trump is reelected through the Electoral College, like you said, would be what was the word that you just used? Like
authoritarian dictatorship. Why do you think it's far-fetched?
It's retarded.
Well, because like I said, I don't believe he acts like a dictator.
You don't? Okay, how not? Do you think that, for instance, do you think a dictator would try to prevent the peaceful transfer of power?
It's Destiny's job to prove he would act like a dictator. It is not her job to prove he would not act like a dictator.
I don't think he was trying to prevent
which he can't.
transfer of
So
power.
this is
He
why he's
called
doing
for peace. He called for law and order. He said we are for law and order. So
every single violent protester, that was just random that they all went and violently protested the certification of the electoral vote.
Well, okay.
Oh, she's about to do the BLM thing. She's gonna go, what about BLM? Yeah, go ahead, do it. Do your whataboutism. No. I'm just gonna ignore it. So go ahead.
No, you're not getting ignored. Although BLM did mostly peacefully protest with fires in the streets.
Hold on. Do you agree that BLM was mostly peaceful?
No.
You're an actual subhuman trash. You think that the majority of the BLM protests were violent?
Yeah.
I saw a lot of America burn under BLM protests.
Fuck you. What do you care and know about America? You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You think the majority, there were like millions and millions of people protesting for like a year. You think the majority of those were violent? You're actually deranged.
Hang on. Would you rather be stuck in an elevator with Destiny while he's angry for 24 hours or live in a tent in the woods for the month? I don't want to live in a tent in the woods for a month. That would be inconvenient on several different levels. So yeah, I'd be stuck in an elevator with Destiny for 24 hours. Now let's hear what you guys have to say. If you press 1 in the chat, if you would rather be stuck in an elevator with Destiny while he's angry for 24 hours, press 2 in the chat if you would rather live in a tent in the woods for the month.
If you think that, I don't even know.
No,
I'm sorry.
I didn't say majority. I said I saw BLM protests that were violent.
I didn't ask what you saw on YouTube. I didn't say. I'm asking if you thought the majority of them were violent.
and anchors from outlets that were reporting on the ground, such as CNN, I believe it was.
Yeah, I know. I saw the same one. Yeah, I saw the same meme image. Don't worry, I've tweeted out before. It was real funny. Yep.
Also, I say I would be stuck in the elevator with Destiny for 24 hours because Destiny might think that he's the biggest, baddest bitch on the internet. But I have complete confidence that I could overpower Destiny energetically, and I could probably overpower him physically too, but I could absolutely overpower Destiny energetically very easily without even trying. So Destiny wants to give me shit. He will feel like he got hit right between the eyes, not because I would actually hit him. I don't believe in that. I believe in the non-aggression principle, but he would get shouted down so severely and so aggressively, he would just sit in the corner of that elevator and keep his mouth shut until they fixed the problems and we were allowed to leave.
I've seen it.
Fiery but mostly peaceful. Do you disagree that do you agree that you can call a protest that involves burning down police stations and streets and storefronts, and where, you know, people have to put up signs saying we're a Black-owned business, please don't burn us down, we support Democrats, don't smash our windows? Do you think you can call that mostly peaceful?
You know what, Kat? Whatever I would call that, I would never utter it in front of you because you don't even deserve to get that concession. You don't even deserve to have me accurately assess that.
Okay,
when you won't even, I don't know, when you won't even for a microsecond, why the fuck, if you're on the left, should you admit to or concede to any of these things when you delusional, unhinged, cowardly, spineless fucks won't even admit to what happened on January 6th? It's like the most open fucking case in the world. The thing that when Donald Trump tries to defend himself, he says, I need criminal immunity to not be in trouble here, right? So no, I'm not even going to concede to a fucking BLM thing, okay? God bless the fucking protesters, okay? They can go fight with the white nationalists in the streets, and they can all go fucking, you know, have fun with each other at this point.
Destiny. Okay, thank you for that tirade. Do you see anyone that, okay, you say I'm not worthy of a response to the BLM protest. Why don't you do you see anyone in the room that's, quote, worthy of discussing that point with you? Maybe you can. I didn't
come here to discuss the BLM protests. So no, I'm not here to discuss that.
Okay, well,
I'm here to discuss the stuff related to Donald Trump and the insurrection. That's what I came here to discuss. If anybody here wants to jump on that, then sure, yeah, we can talk about it. If someone wants to talk about BLM protests at some other point, we can. But I would probably agree with most of them. But the difference is the left is generally willing to critique their side. The right is beyond critique. You guys are incapable, you're unfathomable when it comes to critiquing your own side. It is absolutely true.
No, I have seen people criticize.
Oh, shut the fuck up. No, you haven't. Please stop.
Yes,
please shut the fuck up. You absolutely have not. One tweet where somebody's like, oh, well, I didn't agree when Donald Trump had, you know, a blue tie on instead of his normal red power tie. It's not a true critique. Okay, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Okay, you don't have to swear at me. Like,
then don't act like a fucking moron. Don't act like an idiot. No, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the right criticizes itself, okay?
I'm not acting like an idiot, Destiny. Like, you don't
okay, then you are an idiot or whatever. And it's coming out naturally. However you want to phrase it. My bad.
Okay, so okay, forget about the BLM. You don't want to talk about that. Fine.
I didn't. Well, hold on. I didn't say I didn't want. I said I didn't come here to talk about it. If somebody wants to do BLM debate at some point or whatever, we can do it. But I didn't come here to talk about BLM.
I take it back. You said you didn't come here to talk about BLM. Acknowledge that. Fine, no problem. If you let me finish, can you discuss these points with someone who you think is worthy, who maybe has
for the insurrection stuff? You can voice as many fucking people as you want in here. 100% sure. Go for it.
Okay, so we have some speakers in the room. They're willing to chat. So, you know, whoever, if you want to put your hand up, there's Lauren, there's Clint. He came up first. So,
yeah, I just had a quick question for Stephen because, you know, his screenshots, I'm blocked. So his screenshots of his tweets yesterday have been going viral. And I'm just genuinely.
I just want to say Clint Russell from the Liberty Lockdown podcast is a sore loser cuck conservative who can't get over the fact that he fucking lost. And he's so pathetic that he can't even take even the most like in my opinion, Clint Russell can't take even the most minor bit of criticism. Clint Russell is not that different than Destiny. Clint Russell was literally blocking people during the Libertarian National Convention for liking tweets that he disagreed with. He is a massive sore loser. He's a conservative. He's not a libertarian at all. And yeah, that's all I have to say about him. Anyway.
I'm curious if he is at all concerned with the trajectory of political violence escalating. You know, his reaction, his immediate reaction, well, I'd imagine that much of it was in jest. It's obviously very inflammatory. I'm personally concerned about the climate in this country. I
can't
think
wait to
that
hear
we're
more in Southern, Tom.
inching ever more closely to a potential, civil war or something crazy like that. Is that a concern? I mean, you talk about insurrection, you talk about the dangerous precedent of Donald Trump and where this is all headed. Are you open to political violence at this point? Because it seemed like it, and that doesn't strike me to be your character. So I wanted to clarify.
I am very concerned about political violence in this country and the road to political violence. And you conservatives have been screeching for it nonstop. So I'm not going to be the cuck on the left.
According to Destiny, it's the conservatives who have been calling for political violence. What fucking planet is he on?
Your guys' terms. I'm not going to be the cuckold on the left who's crying and screaming for pump the brakes, guys. No violence. It's civility time. Blah, blah, blah. While you guys on the right engage in the most absurd forms of reality denialism. While you guys say that January 6th was a peaceful protest. When you guys say, oh, the Whitmer thing, that was all the FBI. The pipe bomb stuff, oh, that was all fake. You guys won't take responsibility for fucking anything. And you're supporting literally the most divisive fucking president in all of recent history. And you guys are saying, well, it's just fucking epic and hilarious when he owns the libs. And when you've got,
well, he's not going to be divisive anymore, is he? And that's really what this is about. Is Trump getting shot in the ear is going to bring people together. Trump getting shot in the ear is going to get people who may have been anti-Trump to be like, okay, mother effers, let's go. Trump isn't going to be divisive anymore. And that's really what pisses Destiny off.
Biden, who is when it comes to rhetoric, the most milquetoast fucking guy in the world. I don't even know if this guy has a fucking mean bone in his body. And the only picture I see of him posted over and over and over again is him with a close-up shot where there's red, white, and blue lights in the background and it's just the red and you pretend he's a dictator. Fuck you. I'm not going to be the one calling for oh guys, we've got to be civil, no fucking violence. No, that's fucking retarded. You guys can lead the way on that one because you sure as fuck have led the way on getting us to where we are now.
Well, Stephen, you debated me last year in Tennessee. I ran for vice president of the Libertarian Party. I'm not a conservative at all. So, your tirade may land with a different.
Bullshit. I'm sorry. Fact check. Clint Russell did indeed run for vice president of the Libertarian Party, and he lost. He lost epically. Because Clint Russell is not a libertarian. Clint Russell is a conservative who pretends to be a libertarian when it's convenient. I know it's a side note, but I feel very strongly about this.
Audience, it's not going to work on me.
Really? Hold on. Wait, I'm sorry. Who are you supporting this election?
Trump.
Who am I supporting? I haven't declared any support.
Bullshit.
Really? What are you leaning to? If I were to go through your Twitter, how many critiques have you made of Donald Trump versus how many critiques have you made of Biden? What do you think if I were to guess?
Well, seeing as Biden's the president, it would probably be a lot more critiques towards the sitting president.
Oh, yeah, but not the one that's coming in that's running for president that was also a president for 4 years?
I've been very critical of Donald Trump. So
I'm sure. Yeah, okay.
The name of my show is Liberty Lockdown. I'm very, very disappointed in the 2020 era. So odds of me supporting Trump openly or otherwise are pretty slim. But
well, that's funny because Clint Russell was actually very clear after he lost getting the nomination for the Libertarian Party that he was absolutely going to support Trump and endorsing Trump and making a big stink about Twitter and spreading lies about Chase Oliver and all that stuff. Clint Russell was very, very clear what he was doing. Thank you, Sam. He just admitted to advocating for violence. Indeed, he did.
Setting that aside, I'm glad to hear that you are concerned about political violence in this country. I just, at the same time, I don't understand your rhetoric yesterday or your response to the violence, basically applauding the loss of a voter for Donald Trump in Pennsylvania. It strikes me as callous, to put it mildly.
Not as hard as it struck that guy. Just curious. So I'm just looking through your Twitter. Okay. You said it is a tremendously fraudulent case brought against the leading candidate to be the next president. You thought, which of the 4 cases against Donald Trump do you think are fraudulent and why?
Well, first off, I would say that the FBI document case in Mar-a-Lago, given that, Biden is guilty of the same crime, if it is one, I think that one's fraudulent.
Okay. Just curious on that case. What is the crime?
I think it was holding confidential documents after he left the White House, right?
You understand there's an intentionality aspect to that, right? You have to intentionally take and then knowingly hold classified information out of a SCIF. It's not just like accidentally taking it, right? You understand that a lot of what Donald Trump is charged for in the Mar-a-Lago stuff is obstruction of justice because he told his employee to hide documents from NARA and then the FBI, right? Or did you not know that because you haven't read that indictment, but you have a strong enough opinion about it to tweet about it?
People
I mean, that was
tweet about whatever they
a lot
want.
of assertion without actually allowing for me to answer. Yeah, I realize that there's intentionality. Do you think that there was no intentionality with Biden having hundreds of documents at his house?
I'm just saying that the two cases aren't comparable. The huge aspect of what Trump is being charged with is the obstruction charge because he told his employee to hide documents.
Do you think it's at all odd that there would be this level of investigation into Trump but not into Biden?
I do think that the Trump stuff was really odd. I think the FBI should have kicked his door down a year earlier. I don't know why the fuck they waited so long. They gave him a year to turn those documents over to NARA, and he shunned them, he ignored them, he lied to them, and he had his employee move boxes around, okay, like a fucking ferret running through a maze before the FBI finally caught wind that there was some bullshit going on. Do you think that NARA didn't give him enough time to respond? Why do you think he didn't turn the documents over when they asked?
Okay, same question for you. Why do you have zero concern about Biden possessing classified documents, but you're totally up in arms over Trump? I don't understand.
I'm gonna keep asking until you answer the question. Why do you think Donald Trump waited a full year to turn those documents over to NARA?
I don't know.
Why do you think he told his employee to hide them?
I haven't seen that's been proven that he told his employee to hide them. What's the evidence for that?
It's literally laid out in the indictments from recorded conversations. Or do you think the FBI is just making it all up?
Well, the FBI did lie to the FISA court to spy on his campaign before he entered the White House. So yeah.
So you think they made everything up in the indictment? Oh, okay. Well, in that case, then I don't
think they made up everything.
Okay, wait.
I don't think they made up everything.
Well, then what do you think about?
Why should I trust the FBI?
Okay, then don't. Then I don't know why the fuck I'm talking to you. If you don't trust any of the institutions or any of the investigative bodies, why did you say anything about EW? You should have opened with that. You should have, no, Destiny, I only trust what I read on Twitter. I don't trust anything from any of our three letters. I don't trust those guys. Just open with that next time, and then we don't have to waste any time, like, on some
I already
factual
told you
analysis.
I'm a libertarian, so you could have assumed that.
I'm sure that you're retarded because it's basically one part and parcel of the same.
He is retarded.
You don't need to insult people. I don't understand why you need to do that. Okay, let's take a question. Sharika Soul has her hand up. Sharika, you can unmute yourself.
Destiny, I just have to say that you are an adult male, and the way that you're talking to some of the women in here, well, Kat specifically, is actually really disheartening to listen to. Also, I am Black, and I'm kind of tired of white liberals denying the violence in the Black community and using Black Lives Matter, specifically protests, who, by the way, the Black neighborhoods that have the protest, they end up being destroyed and trashed. And it's not you that comes to the neighborhoods and helps clean up those neighborhoods after a protest. So for you to speak on Black Lives Matter protests and say they're not violent or whatever you were trying to say is disrespectful. It's disingenuous, especially to Black women who have to live in those neighborhoods and the Black children.
Thank you as a Black woman for showing up to show that retardation can transcend both gender and race.
I'm not retarded. You're the white man.
I don't know why the fuck. What do you think I'm speaking on for BLM? This conversation is about BLM. I don't know why why don't even know who the fuck you're talking to right now.
Stop cussing.
I can cuss whatever I want. What do you mean I can say whatever the fuck I want? It's freedom of speech.
Because it's
Twitter.
disrespectful.
Disrespectful to what? This is my. This isn't your fucking Twitter space. You're not here to tell me what I can say or not say.
Black Lives Matter out of your mouth.
You're a white man. BLM. Black people need me. I'm gonna be the white savior for BLM. I love BLM. I'm the leader of BLM. I'm the self-appointed leader of BLM. Oh yes, I love BLM. Oh yes, Black Panthers. I'm gonna join it right now. Oh BLM.
Keep it real.
I am keeping it real.
Black men are violent towards Black women, and we don't need people like you constantly using us for political talking points. Mind your own business and quit talking about a race that you don't know nothing about. We don't know you. You're not in our neighborhood.
BLM. Are you lost? Are you lost right now? How did you even wander into here? Are you okay?
Destiny is definitely proving her wrong that he acts like when she said he acts like a child instead of like an adult male. He's absolutely just proving her wrong. I don't know where she got that impression.
Okay, right now?
Mental distress, and you need to get on medication and stop talking to women.
So true.
Don't talk like that because you're behind a screen. If you were there and she had a whole bunch of men standing by her, there's no way you would keep talking to her like that. You're a punk.
Okay.
Grow
Thank
up.
you, Sharika. Thank you so much for your valuable contribution. Okay. Noted.
Okay. Let's try to keep it civil, guys. Let's just try to speak with each other, but not talking over each other. It's hard to hear when, you know,
Yep.
she's
Richard
trying to
Simmons
speak and you're
died.
just going BLM, BLM.
Rest in
and
peace, Richard
we
Simmons.
can't understand you guys. You know, it's hard to hear. I'm sure you know this. Like, I shouldn't have to explain that, but one at a time would probably be best. And maybe if you didn't come to speak about BLM, you don't have to speak about it if you don't want to, Destiny. That's fine.
Well, as the self-appointed leader of the BLM chapter in my city, I felt it necessary to say I am the self-appointed leader of the BLM chapter, in Miami.
Self-appointed?
So, yes.
Do you think does BLM stand for large mansions? Buy large mansions? Do you know about that?
Yep, I got the largest one, and I only invite my white friends to hang out in it.
Can't you at least just like laugh it off without being so angry? Like this
I'm
is,
not angry.
you know,
I'm being
none
very
of what
serious
I
right now.
say will impact you, in any meaningful ways.
Yeah, just to be really crystal clear, I will never debate Destiny. That will never happen. The first reason is I don't debate. I think it's a colossal waste of time. I think it doesn't accomplish anything. I think no one's actually interested in the truth. So I would never engage in a debate like this anyway, but I will absolutely never have a conversation with I would never lower myself to put myself into a position where someone is speaking to me like this. Absolutely not. I don't care how many views it gets on the internet. I don't care. I don't care how many new people would come to my channel. I don't give a fuck. It is not worth it. It is not worth it to demean yourself, to lower yourself, to put yourself into a position with someone who is not approaching it in good faith, will never approach it in good faith, who just wants to gaslight you, who is going to try to make you feel shitty so that they can feel better about themselves and their weird tiny dick. Absolutely never. No, no, no. Oh, I thought I banned you on this channel, but you're sending me money now, so I feel pretty glad about that. We haven't always seen eye to eye, but you are knocking it out of the park tonight. This is Carlin content I enjoy from you. Keep exposing that prick. Hey, thank you. You know what? Internet enemies can become friends again. I've recently become friends with a lot of people that I've had beef with on the internet before. So you know what? There's been some sort of reset in the force. I'm going to go through the banned list on the channel and take pretty much everyone off the ban list at some point. It's just a pain in the butt doing YouTube, so it might not happen right away. There's been a reset in the force. I feel open to making friends again, but not Destiny. He can go fuck himself. I would never go near him.
Can we at least bond over a mutual disdain for Pearl Davis? Come on.
Maybe.
Just lighthearted maybe. That's okay. That's progress. I'll take that. I like that. Okay. Does anyone else want to jump in to say anything or to ask a question? Hey, Lauren.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'll make a comment.
Thank you, Grade 8. Appreciate you.
Oh boy. Listening to this, I will say I think there is a serious problem on the right now. Not just the right, politics in general, with people not actually reading the documents, people getting their information from memes. I actually do think it's a little atrocious that from my side of the political spectrum and what I read on my timeline, I don't hear more about the Trump indictments and the actual documents going forward.
Fair point.
I think that's going to be something I'm going to be doing going forward, is actually reading those indictments, because I think it's important for when debates like this happen. And Kat, we can read them together. We'll go over it together. Do a little
Sounds good.
Session.
I'm in.
But I will also say this disregard of actual research that is pervasive in the political sphere is the same reason I got
this was
canceled
earlier
and called a genocide
today
denier for stating that no bodies existed in the alleged Indigenous mass graves in Canada. I'm sure a lot of people remember that story. None were ever found, but that lie still persists. And, churches burned to the ground and the country put into havoc millions and millions of dollars of our tax money spent on this cause. And all because a bunch of people decided to believe memes over doing actual research. And I get being upset about it. Believe me, I was upset about it. I had death threats in my inbox, threats towards my family, my children, and this is genuinely destroying our countries and democracy, this low information kind of engagement with politics.
I agree with you.
But I'm also aware that the people who haven't done enough research, haven't done enough reading on these subjects, aren't necessarily evil and shouldn't be discounted entirely, even if they're the ones that are sending me threats. I apologize. I'm in an airport right now.
Okay.
Hopefully you guys can hear me all right.
We can hear you.
Yeah. So, in some cases, these people are my family, my lifelong friends that I've had that completely disagree with me on these topics, that I think are sometimes ill-informed on these subjects. And I think that they're deserving of respect to some degree, to some level. Just because my country has been defrauded by our government into believing mass graves and genocide exists that didn't happen, and I've received threats, that doesn't mean I have to treat every leftist cruelly, nor laugh or mock or celebrate if they are killed, especially when they're innocent and we're just showing up to a rally. And I think there's
But like the real question is, why are they sleeping with him? Why? Are women who are on the internet? I'm honestly asking. This is not one of those times when I'm asking a dumb question just to ask the dumb question. I'm honestly asking because I don't interact with other people on the internet because I mostly hate content creators. Are women on the internet just so desperate to be famous on the internet that they'll literally fuck anyone? Even if they're tiny and scrawny and have a weird tiny dick? Like, is the standard for women on the internet so low that all that needs to happen for them to fuck someone is for them to have a gamer audience on freaking Discord or Kick or wherever he streams? I don't even know. How is this possible? Like, how pathetic, man. People have to have better standards. Having it, listen, I'll say this, and there have been times when I've had a bigger platform on the internet than I've had now. And I would not go back to that time for anything. I'm much happier the way things are now. Because now I have self-respect. Now I don't have to interact with people I don't want to interact with. Now I don't have people giving me talking points that are the approved, blessed talking points. Having a big audience wasn't worth it. And I didn't even fuck anyone or anything. It's like, it's not worth it. Just like fucking a guy like that to get an audience. Get it in other ways. Just show your boobs. Like, people will come. Or at least that's what they tell me. I don't know. I don't really show my boobs on the internet except every once in a while. Yup, I agree with you. Jenny's getting inky with it. Thank you for the super chat.
Much better approach than the one that Stephen has been taking, particularly when
I think the fact that this guy was tweeting out Putin worship makes it the most fucking hilarious misfire that could have possibly happened.
He deserved to get shot.
I didn't say he deserved to get shot. I'm just saying he doesn't deserve any sympathy for it, okay? And it might warrant a laugh or two.
I think you'll find that people care a lot more what you have to say when you acknowledge that they might be human, that they have some integrity, that you can kind of show a little bit of respect. I mean, you've got family members that would agree with this guy. I don't think you laugh at them being shot.
My mom and dad taught me fuck around and find out as a first principle of how to navigate the world. So if they ended up going to a fucking rally like this, cheering for a fucking insurrectionist dude or whatever, yeah, they deserve it 50 times over. They served in the Air Force. They know better. They took an oath to the Constitution to serve this country, not to serve a fucking king. Why the fuck? I don't know why you guys asked me this question. What if it happened here? What if it happened to your parents? Yeah, if they went to a crazy fuck rally like this and something happened to them, it would be sad. I'd probably personally sad, but what the fuck do you want me to say? What do you expect to happen?
Wait, you think attending a political rally is a fucking fuck around and find out scenario?
I think that supporting a prior president that engaged in insurrection. Yeah, I'm tired of pretending like that's just like a normal, ordinary thing that you're supposed to accept as an American citizen. That's unhinged. That is fucking insane to me.
Destiny just said that it is unhinged to believe that going to a Trump rally should not lead to you being shot in the head. That's literally what he said. He's saying every single person that goes to a Trump rally should expect to get shot in the head. Fuck around and find out. And he thinks that everyone else who doesn't agree with him is the unhinged one, and he's perfectly normal because insurrection. Okay.
Me.
I have a question. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you honestly think that people, despite yes, I have seen the tweets mentioning the word king. Do you think people want him as king for real?
Yes.
You don't think that you do?
Yep.
What causes you to make that conclusion? Except
show me a single conservative commentator that had anything critical to say about the criminal immunity case. Show me one that even fucking read half of it, actually. But show me one. Find me one and maybe I'll believe you. Maybe.
No. Just one sec. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about your belief that his supporters, the Trump supporters...
I actually have designs for this because I was thinking about releasing it around Christmas. Maybe I should release the Trump for King designs. Some of them look really good. I made these propaganda posters that look like old school Maoist propaganda posters with Trump for King on it. I don't know if I can because of, well, issues with other people, but I like Adam Green and I have no beef with him. One shit post, no trial, game ended. Yup, exactly, Renan. Thank you.
Would literally make him king if they could?
Yes. They literally call him Emperor Trump. Yeah, it's all a joke. It's just a meme, LOL.
That fight for, so the people that believe they're fighting for freedom and to preserve the constitutional republic that is the United States, you know,
no one gives a fuck.
Hold on, hold on. Can I just finish? I know you're really skilled. You're really good at it.
Hang on, we're gonna do a quick pause, guys, because I'm looking at this here poll with 150 of you have voted, and only 67% of you have mounted the like button, but yet you still voted in the poll. So can you just mount the like button? If you're here and you want to smash the like button, you can smash it. I don't care. If you want to high five the like button, if you want to put your arm around the like button, if you want to slap the like button on the ass, I don't care what you do to the like button, but can we just get those numbers up? Because if you can answer a poll in my chat, you can mount the like button for me, okay? I don't really think I'm asking too much, guys. Come on, let's get it up over 300 likes. Come on. Come on. Okay, thank you. Keep going, though.
No, it's just that you just don't know anything about like Donald Trump literally has tweets on like Truth Social saying he wants to suspend the Constitution, and you're asking me, you don't think the people that are supporting him in the Constitutional Republic they want a king?
Okay, okay. I'll just restart. So once again, like, so the people that you know champion when, for example, on issues that are not related to the subject, they say, you know, give it back to the states because the states should have the power to say they voted for example, on abortion. Like they say they give it to the states. Is that not them upholding, you know, the constitutional republic and the process?
No, it's because they like the idea of. Let me answer the question without it being like a rambling like 50 question, okay? And then you ask me the next question you want, okay? No, when they say throw it back, find me a single conservative who is excited about throwing abortion back to the states as they are about supporting the right for sanctuary cities to exist, and then I'll believe you. No, conservatives don't give a fuck about states' rights.
He's
Absolutely
not wrong about that.
They only support it in this case because they know that it'll mean less abortion than what there were, that it'll mean less abortion rights than there were before. That's the only reason they support it.
Stephen, real quick, man, you said that basically because Donald Trump is an insurrectionist, attending his rally is supporting, a fascist dictator or whatever, and ultimately it's a fuck around and find out scenario. You'd have to then extrapolate that logic to believe that the 70+ million people that voted for him are also guilty of supporting them and therefore a fair game and in a fuck around and find out scenario. So am I misreading here? Are you saying that all of these people are open to assassination attempts?
I wouldn't say open to assassination. I'm just saying that if it happens, there should be zero fucking sympathy for anybody involved.
So you believe that
hold on, just to be clear,
half of the country deserves no sympathy. Really?
Yes.
I'm not saying that people should get shot in the head, but if they do get shot in the head because they went to a rally that I disagree with, then I'm just not going to feel sorry about that because you know what? They should have fucking known better because they went to a rally of a politician that I disagreed with. This is psychotic.
When half of the country is supporting an insurrectionist, yes, democracy only works. And if you're a I don't even know I don't know what you are.
He's a conservative.
If democracy only works when the people are working to actually protect it. And when half the people in the country are supporting somebody that is undemocratic, then no, I'm not going to sit here and shed tears for people that end up being the victims of their own insane fucking ideology. No, this is fucking stupid. Why would I waste my time? There are way better things to cry over, like how fucking horrible Game of Thrones turned out. I'm not going to sit here and lose sleep over dipshits that are getting offed as they engage in insurrectionist supporting rhetoric. That's fucking crazy.
Just on a personal note, man, I really feel like you've lost your humanity. I'm concerned for you,
right?
honestly.
And I wish that, and maybe one day, I don't know, maybe if you guys grow up a little bit, maybe you'll know this, saying the most disgusting, horrible shit that you can in a polite tone of voice is one of the most horrible things that you can do as a human being. And the idea,
if you literally waited 5 minutes to subscribe to my channel just to bitch and complain in my chat, do your own fucking homework and go find the video and watch it for yourself, bro. Goodbye. You are banned. Don't disrupt the calm of the chat to work out your feelings in my chat. You can comment on that. I don't care. But if you're just going to want, I have 2 rules in my chat just for people who might be new. Number 1, don't be a dick. Do not insult me. Do not insult other people in the chat. Number 2, no whining. I don't give a flying fuck about your feelings, okay? I don't give a flying fuck if you don't like my commentary. If you don't like my commentary, go watch the original source video. It's on the internet. Anyone can find it.
Idea that just because you calmly and politely suggest that a guy that tried to overthrow the republic ought to be president, and that's a respectable opinion because you say it with a low voice, is beyond redemption to me. It's disgusting.
Okay, so you think we're disgusting? You think we're a basket of deplorables? Okay, I have a question that's sort of related. I see that a person named Chase Geyser challenged you to a lawful duel under the Texas Penal Code. 22.06. I'm not sure what that means. But then it looks like you blocked him after that. Did you not want to discuss
Chase Geyser is
that
kind of a
particular
moron,
subject
but...
with him because
I'm not. Why would I accept a lawful duel with somebody?
Beyond,
I shouldn't call him a
because
moron. I don't like him.
You know, because he seems like he would maybe be more equipped to talk about the things that you've read yourself. Maybe
if he wants to talk about something, then sure, we can talk. Why the fuck? I'm not going to accept a fucking duel. That sounds fucking retarded.
I think that was just his way of saying, can we chat about it? Like maybe I said it politely and in my soft, disgusting tone that you don't like, but you know, he was.
If he wants to chat, yeah, sure, drag him in. I don't know why we would assume that means debate. I don't know why when Donald Trump says we need to fight like hell to take our country back, you would say, well, that doesn't really mean anything. But when another guy says penal code 112, whatever the fuck, challenge you to a fucking duel, like, I don't know. If you want to drag him in and he wants to chat, we can. But no, it seems like we're just spamming. You just like shit post people that they want to duel.
I don't think I can bring him in.
What's the guy's name on Twitter or whatever?
Hold on one sec. I'll let you know. Chase.
Oh yeah, I saw the InfoWars too, so I know that he's like an actual fucking retard as well.
Is everyone a retard? Because
people that are on InfoWars are all retards. Yes. Like if that guy would have been in the audience, like the bullet would have went one in hole and out the other, and there would have been no damage done. That's how fucking stupid anybody that works at InfoWars is. Yes.
Wow.
Okay. I disagree with that assessment, but
I'm sure you do.
We can. Okay. So you didn't want to talk to him because
no, if he wants to chat, sure, go for it.
He's from InfoWars.
I unblocked him if he wants to chat. I just said he's stupid. I talk to stupid people for a living. That's why. That's how I make my living. Yeah.
I have a quick question.
Well, you got to give you props for doing the living with what you're doing. You're pretty successful. So hats off to you for being successful at what you do, I guess.
Why is she still sucking his dick?
Sorry,
She's
did I
being
hear
way
someone
too
chiming in?
Yeah, I just decided to shut up, like holding my hand up too long for a high five.
Go for it, Lauren.
Yeah, Stephen, you tweeted out earlier a sand tweet in which he said that every day you've got Republicans calling for concentration camps and something along those lines, and you liked it both and shared it. Can you name a single Republican with an ounce of political?
Oh, Destiny privated this? It's a good thing I already had it loaded, and it's a good thing I already had it downloaded, and it's a good thing I already have an audio version of it that someone else sent me. So it's a good thing. Hey, welcome people that are excited to hear this.
Power or any sort of sway that has called daily for concentration camps?
I'm pretty sure Hassan's tweet there, if I had to guess, it was in reference to the border policies that Donald Trump has, where we were separating people at the border and then keeping them locked up in facilities that were understaffed. Pretty sure that's what that reference is.
Do you think that those are concentration camps?
I mean, definitionally, they might have been. I'm not sure. Probably. I don't know. I wouldn't call them that, but...
Do you think, I mean, you just liked and shared a tweet referring to them as concentration camps. Do you think they are concentration camps or not?
I don't think that I'm going to...
If Destiny behaves so perfectly in this live stream, then why did he private it? If he behaves so perfectly in this Twitter space, why did he private it?
To account for the exactness of a particular insult that's used against a side that doesn't even acknowledge what happened on January 6th. So if there was a person that wanted to critique the particular way that a word or term or definition is used, it sure as fuck wouldn't be somebody on the right. Absolutely fucking not.
Well, I thought your whole qualms with all of this is that the right-wingers aren't actually reading the documents. They don't understand.
No, my
the
qualms
wording
with
being
right-wingers
used.
is they are
They don't understand the
anti-American.
specifics.
They don't support the Constitution. They don't support the country that they're a part of, and that they engage in patterns of conceptual and precise pieces of misinformation in order to spread the lies and the mischief and whatever the fuck else they do online. It's not over whether or not they use a particular term right or wrong in a thing. It's the fact that they'll come on and they'll talk about criminal indictments and insurrection without being familiar with any of the underlying material. That's my issue.
Well, luckily I'm a Canadian, and you've got a Canadian asking you.
Don't worry, there's a lot of them in
about
here.
Concentration camps, and it sounds like you're just going to be out here tweeting inflammatory rhetoric with.
Right now, yeah, I basically am. I think so. Yeah.
That you don't even believe in. You don't think they're concentration camps.
I think it was funny. It was funny enough to. It was funny enough to.
It's your side.
Well, that's the rules of discourse that the right has said. So yeah, why not have a little bit of fun? They can't have all the fun in this country, right?
I think that's why a lot of people usually respect you, is because you don't usually accept those rules of discourse, whether it be right or left. I mean.
Well, unfortunately, when you're a grown-up and you live in the whole world, you kind of have to accept. Listen, I've seen enough of your tweets to know you have to accept. If somebody were to go up to you and say, "Lauren, why do you have so many problems with housing or immigration in Canada or whatever?" And then you're like, "Well, I've got issues because of X, Y, and Z." Well, hold on, that's just their opinions. Like, you don't have to play by their rules. You don't have to worry about the changes that they impart on your country. You can just do your own thing. No, that's not how it works here. Okay, this is like the rules of discourse and the rules of media reporting, the rules of accountability that the right has set. So I'm not going to have the right hold me to some different standard that they themselves don't even begin to approach.
Just as moronic as the people you think you're criticizing.
I don't think I'm just as. It's not about being moronic. It's about being anti-American. It's about being opposed to democratic rule of law. Yeah. But that's funny. I mean, you can pretend it's the same. Yeah. No, that's cool. That's good. Yep. It is. It's the exact same. It's the exact calling separation of families at the border a concentration camp. That's the exact same thing as saying January 6th. What was that? Didn't you say mostly peaceful?
You know, I think it's wild. I think it's wild that America has concentration camps. In fact, I'd say not trying to get this president out of office, that would be anti-democratic. It's your duty to get this president out of office if he is running concentration camps at the border, right?
I mean, that's what Republicans are saying worse than that now. So I don't know why you think you're making a point.
We have Rob with his hand up. Rob, I've invited you as Speaker Rob Noor.
I think this is when I started listening.
That is correct. Thank you so much. Edgelord Destiny, great to be here. Know that you really don't like people that are read up. So happy to beat you around on these subjects like always. To start with, I find most repugnant about what you're doing, not that you're an edgelord making jokes, but that you're a disingenuous sack of shit. Because, as I've debated you in the past, you started talking before January 6th ever occurred about how the BLM riots were justified. It was just the other side of the coin of voting. Of course, once you realized that grip wouldn't do as well for you when you were debating the Rittenhouse shit, you completely 180'd your position.
Hold on, just to be clear, wait. I don't think I've ever supported violent riots against private property. I don't know if I've ever supported that in the U.S. The farthest my position ever went was if people wanted to violently riot against public property, that maybe that's defensible. I'm pretty sure that's the farthest I've ever gone, even prior to Rittenhouse. I don't know where that opinion comes from. I've always supported protests and even riots to some extent, as long as it's not against private property. But
that is exactly true. What you said to me was, even though you weren't sure how much of the violence was against private
that was a
property
missed opportunity for sure.
That the George Floyd riots were against public property, you said that that's fine. If you feel the system's not working for you, we're America, goddammit, and rioting's the other side of the coin to voting.
Oh, there I am.
When that occurs on January 6th,
did I ever say rioting is the other side of the coin to voting? That's a really strange statement if I did. If I did, that's a really strange statement, but go ahead. Okay.
I will try to find the clip for you. But you said that they were justified at the time. Then what's even more egregious is your take on January 6th. You initially had said to at least one other person, a left-wing streamer, and on a panel that I was on, that it was absurd to think this was a serious attempt to overthrow the government by the riot that day. You basically alluded to the fact that because there were so many people that outnumbered the police, that it's clear if they really were trying to violently overthrow the government, they'd have taken far greater actions. Now you're suggesting that people that disagree with your new position, that this was clearly an insurrection, are people that are fucking around and should find out because they can't call it out.
What do you think is the difference? Yeah, sure. What do you think is the difference between then and now, Rob?
There is no difference materially.
There is a huge difference in what we knew publicly at the time. There is a huge difference in what was publicly known. You can go and I'm sure you've listened to me and Pisco argue about this at length on my channel. Yeah. I was massively against the concept of it being an insurrection originally until it came out that there were some Proud Boys people there that were trying to coordinate some shit. I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe. But then once all of the Trump stuff came out, abso-fucking-lutely on Donald Trump's end, 100%, he was engaging in insurrection and he was utilizing the protesters.
Okay, I have a question. Again, I don't watch Destiny. I don't like Destiny. I don't really know that much about him other than I find him to be annoying. Do we actually believe that Destiny is still this angry about January 6th? Is this real? Or is this just an excuse to like work out your feelings on the internet? Because I really have a hard time believing that Trump just got shot in the ear. And yet the hill that we're going to die on is January 6th was an insurrection and it is inexcusable. And because of January 6th, Trump deserved to get shot in the ear. So 1 in the chat if you think Destiny actually cares about this, like in real life, or 2 in the chat if you think this is just performative to like create content on the internet, or it's just like he's mad about something and he's working out his feelings. 1 if you think he actually cares and it's genuine and authentic. 2 if this is just a performative bullshit content creator exercise.
To do as much. Now, whether or not all of the protesters themselves, knowingly, even the ones that broke in, knew that they were part of an insurrection or not, at this point, I kind of lean towards yes, but I'm not like as on it. But Donald Trump, absolutely and unequivocally yes.
The difference is the actions that were taken by people that day are what would constitute an insurrection. And those actions have been on display for you to see the public evidence of the day of January 6th and all throughout after that. And you correctly came to the conclusion that it was a riot that got out of hand. Now, let's say that you think because of evidence, you even specifically said, of course, there might have been some Proud Boy type people there LARPing. They might have done some bad shit. But the overwhelming majority of the people that were there, it was not a serious attempt to overthrow the government. It was a riot. Now, let's say that you've since heard evidence of things Donald Trump did. That doesn't change whether the action itself was an insurrection. You have no evidence that Trump willfully told those people to go be violent. And in fact, the irony is,
hold on. Yep. Donald Trump invited all of those people to Washington to give a speech on the 6th at the same time that he had given Pence 7 false slates of electors and pressured him to accept them. And then he sent them all to the Capitol building, I guess, hopefully to protest to delay the certification of the vote. And as it was being delayed, he made calls to the lawmakers continuing to try to delay the certification of the vote. And the people at the White House or at the Capitol building were using violence as part of the protest / riot. That's an insurrection.
That is not an insurrection. And if you call that an insurrection and narrow the definition as such, then you would have to admit that things like May 31st, 2020, where there were violent left-wingers that, unlike January 6th, used lethal weapons, injured 47 guards, burned down a guard station, and attempted to get into the White House to the point where Trump had to be removed into a bunker, which then many on the left, including Joe Biden, mocked him for having to go to the bunker. That would also be an insurrection.
Yeah, this is what I think.
Rob, just as a quick thing, okay? All right, this is the difference between me and every single spineless fuck on the right. If you were to give me an example of this, and if the examples were to lay out the criteria that I've set forth for an insurrection, what do you think I would say?
Well, you know of this. I would think you would say that there are some sort of meaningless differentiations because no 2 situations will ever be completely analogous.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not true. What I would say, and I'll say it right now, that's not true. It's funny that you think that there's a shortage of criticism for fucking BLM or whatever on my side, when that's one of the things I'm the most criticized for. That's fucking hilarious. But no, if you were to show me that there was some organized group of people who were trying to circumvent or overthrow some fucking government process, and that they did so in a means that incorporated violence, I'd probably say, oh, wow, I guess that could probably qualify as an insurrection too. Sure. That's probably what I would say, if assuming I saw the evidence.
Okay, then real quick, because the FBI decided not to have a massive task force because Democrats seemed to say it was mostly peaceful, the National Guard shouldn't be deployed, et cetera, because that investigation didn't take place. Use your best judgment. What do you think a bunch of violent lefties with Molotov cocktails attacking the White House, injuring 47 guards and burning down a guard station in an attempt to get into the White House, what do you think their motivations were?
I truly have no fucking idea. I haven't looked into it at all.
Right. Isn't it convenient? The FBI never investigates the things that occur on the Democrat side. And then you say, well, what can we do? We don't have
the FBI never investigates. Hold on. I'm sorry. What did Hunter Biden get convicted of? for having drugs in a video. So then, bro, he relied on a 4473 for a firearm. Hold on, the FBI never investigates their own or Democrats or convicts them. What was the whole fucking was it the not Durham? What was the thing about Biden and the fucking documents or whatever, that whole special counsel or whatever that was appointed by Merrick Garland, the Democrat DOJ? And I'm sorry, who did Donald Trump pardon? Every single fucking person that got convicted that was part of him? How the fuck are you trying to say there's a double standard here that doesn't exist on the Republican side? You're insane, Rob.
The rapidity in raising your voice is unimpressive to me. I could do it just as well.
Do it then. Go knock yourself out.
Nonetheless, right? No, it's clear. For example, let's take those one by one. The investigation into Biden, it was covered up from the get-go. The only reason that it ever resulted in any charges was because 2 whistleblowers from the IRS out of...
This is absolutely not a Destiny channel. Absolutely not. Yeah, I had the QAnon shaman on a while ago. Guys, please mount the like button. Welcome if you just got here. We are watching a Twitter space that happened today. We're watching the stream that Destiny did, streaming the Twitter space, and apparently he has privated this stream. So, but I had it loaded beforehand. Sorry, too bad, so sad. But please mount the like button, guys. If you don't want to mount the like button, you can smash the like button. You can high five the like button. You can slap the like button on the ass. You can do something more vulgar to the like button if you want. But mounting the like button lets people know to join us on the stream and invites new people onto the channel. And make sure you're subscribed, and we are going to continue.
The fact that the FBI was covering for this, now we know the CIA was as well. Then a judge blew apart the sweetheart plea deal that was given to Hunter Biden. So with egg on their face, they charged him with the most meaningless crime that couldn't be connected to his father and their family, which was a gun charge when he was high, which I don't even think he should have been charged for.
Was it that? Hold on. This happened under Donald Trump's administration. Wouldn't it have been his FBI?
Yes, the same FBI that wanted an insurance policy and preventing him. The same FBI that for 4 years leaked to the press and illegally spied on him. Yes.
The same FBI where Comey came out and he made statements to the press about Hillary's email usage in a totally unprecedented manner. The same FBI that had.
Are you going to clown yourself on this again after the last time I clowned you on this?
Oh my God.
You're wrong? Sure, everyone in the audience, me and Destiny went back and forth for over an hour on this. And the IG report showed that actually the reason that Comey did that and then had to come out later and re-announce the opening of the Hillary investigation was because the FBI intentionally sat on the fact that there were more emails on Anthony Weiner's laptop.
Your entire argument hinges, and the same thing that you just put forth now hinges on the idea that 1 or 2 whistleblowers can force the hand of a 3-letter to make anything public, ignoring the fact that people like Julian Assange have been like fucking pushed out of the country for like...
If the hill that you're going to die on is the FBI is completely trustworthy and completely competent and always does the right thing, and we should always trust the FBI, does that seem like a good idea to anyone else?
Over a fucking decade. You're telling me that the FBI or whatever, they're so fucking corrupt that they can engage in all this cover, that they'd be pressured to have 1 or 2 whistleblowers make the media, like, force them to release shit? They can just ignore it, and American minds will move on in literally 1 fucking week.
So you see how Destiny laments when he's talking to left-wingers that don't understand the facts of the case, how they're uninformed. But when Preston, someone's more informed of these IG reports than him, that show this is exactly what happened, that Comey himself admitted that the reason he came out was because there was this whistleblower that was going to come out, and he was afraid that...
See, the thing is, you just broke one of my rules. Guys, as a reminder, I have 2 rules on my channel. We do not shitpost indiscriminately here. Number 1, you will not insult me. Number 2, you will not insult anyone else in the chat. I don't care if you insult anyone on the stream that we're watching. I don't care if you insult Destiny, but you will not insult me. You will not insult anyone else in the chat. Number 2, no whining. If I tell you to stop doing something, just stop doing it. Now, because you insulted me and I don't really like your energy, you're now permanently banned. Don't break my rules.
The FBI would have an albatross on their neck because the American people would be furious after the election to find out that there was an allegation that the FBI sat on evidence of Hillary's potential criminality, and he got blown up in that debate. He knows it, but he defaults to these meaningless platitudes as saying, well, there could never be corruption from whistleblowers outing, because if that was the case, then whistleblowers would have always outed, or the FBI would have been more corrupt and taken
Destiny just stops listening, walks away.
And so furthermore, then, let's go into the Herbert. Oh, I'll finish with this. The Biden business, the Hunter Biden business, what they didn't charge was the obvious FARA violations because they didn't want it to connect to Joe Biden. The fact that Hunter Biden was working with the spy.
It's not a safe space. I wouldn't call it that. I would say it's not an unhinged, deranged fucking internet space, because I have people here who don't want to be around unhinged, deranged people in the chat. So just chill, man. It's almost 2 a.m. Just chill the fuck out. Just because Destiny is unhinged doesn't mean we need to be unhinged. Everyone can be respectful.
Chief of China with the executives in Burisma that were considered by Joe Biden himself to be corrupt foreign oligarchs, and was lobbying to the United States and no doubt his father. Those are the crimes that aren't being charged.
Okay, sorry, hold on. I stepped away for a minute. I'm so sorry. I know that you were doing your whole fucking rant.
I'm very good at it.
Relating to the insurrection stuff, do you agree that Donald Trump tried to get 7 false slates of electors?
All good. You're cool.
I'd call them alternate slates, but yes.
Hold on. They were not certified or appointed by the state legislatures. Do you acknowledge that they were fraudulent slates? That when they signed the papers that said that we assembled at City Hall and we are the state assembly and we are the duly appointed blah blah blah, that was a lie. They were fraudulent.
I will say this. Unlike you, I will stay on the topic that you're desperately trying to change to because you're getting blown out on the other side.
Hold on, excuse me. The whole point of this call wasn't to debate every single fucking AGI report and everything that Rob Noah wanted to talk about. That wasn't the point of this fucking call. The point of this was
Hunter Biden.
The point of this,
point.
No, it's not about getting blown out. The point of this,
not to interrupt each other. Let each other speak, please. I don't want to mute anyone because Destiny said you don't want to be muted. I'm trying to respect that wish because you agreed to come on, and I really appreciate it. Can you guys just let each other finish sentences? Just like a little bit more than you are. It's hard to hear you guys.
Sure. The topic of this space, the thing that I came here to discuss, was not every single prior AGI report. It was the Trump insurrection stuff. That's what we were talking about with Kat. That's what I'm talking about right now. Do you think that Donald Trump did 7 false slates of electors?
I think he did alternate slates of electors that his team recommended as a legal strategy, that was a potential to go through because he felt that the election was fraudulently taken from him and that courts were unwilling to hear cases that he truly believed in.
Why does it fucking matter if he had alternate slates of electors if the only way those electors were actually going to come into play was if the legal challenges went through? The legal challenges didn't go through. And so nothing happened with the alternative slates of electors. So why the fuck does it matter? It was a legal strategy. It failed. Who the fuck cares? But to continue to be pissed off about this 3.5 years later, like Destiny needs to go to therapy, man.
Would you support President Biden if he SEAL Team 6 Donald Trump? Because he thinks he legitimately thinks it. Well, what if he legitimately thinks he's a threat to the nation?
I would not support that. I would not have supported Donald Trump if he did the same to Joe Biden.
Well, but you did support. Why would you support Donald Trump? No, we don't need an analogy. We don't need an analogy. Why would you support Donald Trump creating false slates of electors?
But so let's do the analogy. Would I support Joe Biden using a false slate of electors?
No, it doesn't count now. It doesn't. Wait, no.
Let me answer, please. I would be pissed off. I would say that that's terrible. I wouldn't think that it's criminal. I think that what would happen would be that this was an attempt to have a legal challenge to the election that was a Hail Mary.
I wouldn't care if Biden had alternate slates of electors because it would be as part of a legal challenge. If the legal challenge goes through, it becomes important. If the legal challenge doesn't go through, it doesn't become important. I wouldn't give a fuck.
I think that had Trump been successful and Mike Pence gone through with this, it would have went to the courts. The courts would have quickly said, we don't see evidence of any sort of cheating.
Hold on, wait. I'm sorry, wait. One step at a time before you do your whole weird revision bullshit, okay? So you admit that the initial 7 slates, those were not authorized by the state assemblies, right?
I do believe that's the case, yes.
Okay, so they were fraudulent. I don't know why you're saying alternate.
Okay,
they were
just to be autistic.
Who cares?
Those out of the 7 did specifically write on them that they were alternates to the main person and only to be brought in if it was found that they were the legitimate electors.
I would have to read that. I wouldn't trust.
Pennsylvania and New Mexico.
Okay, I would have to go and read that. I definitely wouldn't trust hearing that secondhand. But regardless, they were filled out. They claimed on the things. I guess maybe on 2 of them they didn't. So maybe 5 were false. Okay. When these were sent to Congress, the goal wasn't to have a legitimate debate over the election and whether or not there was voter fraud. They were trying to commit fraud, Rob. Right? They weren't looking to have a substantive debate on the floor about whether or not voter fraud had occurred. They were trying to push their own fraudulent electoral votes.
No, that's not true. What was occurring was that, you tell me then, this would be the easiest way to do it. Let's say Mike
Hang on. Destiny is completely wrong. I was at January 6th. I know these people. I know what Trump voters were saying around the time of January 6th. They were saying they wanted their voices heard, and they didn't feel as though they had any recourse anywhere throughout the country because the Republicans fucked up the legal challenges to this so badly, and that was absolutely the Republicans' fault. But in terms of like the voters didn't feel like they had ever had their voices heard or their concerns heard. You were banned off social media if you tried to say that maybe the election was stolen. Like you got fired from your job for even just going to January 6th, not even knowing or not even being at the White House. There were people who lost major contracts just for being in Washington, D.C. Didn't even go to the Capitol, but they were just in Washington, D.C. Like, when you're living in a space where you literally get banned off of social media for saying, maybe I don't trust the election results, then you might have an issue with feeling as though you are not heard, you are not considered, or any part of this. And I promise you, the vast majority of the people who are at the Capitol on January 6th, they literally just wanted their voices to be heard in an environment. And by the way, it wasn't just about the election. You have to think about the 4 years leading up to January 6th, in which conservatives were banned off of social media for expressing any opinions that someone might disagree with. They were fired from their jobs if they were wearing a MAGA hat or stuff like that. There was a whole big escalation of them being silenced and put down and disparaged and being called racist and white supremacist for having a different opinion than someone. And then it culminated with the fact that they believed completely that Trump won the election. And you can believe whatever you want, but the fact is they believed it. And there were legitimate questions to be asked. And those questions, a lot of them were never actually answered. And so they showed up to have their voices heard, and that was the purpose of it. And I promise you, if the left hadn't been out to silence anyone that they politically disagreed with in the 4 years between when Trump was elected in 2016 and when this happened in 2021, if the left hadn't been constantly trying to ban and censor people they didn't agree with, January 6th probably wouldn't have happened. Because conservatives are fucking lazy. And conservatives would rather do almost anything than leave their house and go to a protest and a rally. So if the left had just done like the bare minimum of being like, you know what, I think you have some crazy ideas, but we're going to allow you to say those things on social media, January 6th probably wouldn't have happened in the first place. That's just reality.
Alternate slate. What would happen then?
Well, nobody knows. Eastman says that Eastman was, he had several different plans for what could have possibly happened. He could have said that he's accepting the 7 alternate slates. He's going to cut short, I think, the time that the floor can debate, and he either accepts them or he throws it back to the House delegation and they make Trump the president.
What would have happened would have been that it would have went to the court. It would have been basically a constitutional crisis that the court would have looked into. The court would have either found evidence of fraud or not. Most likely you would believe they wouldn't have. And the election would have went to Joe Biden.
Hold on. No. Hold on. I'm so sorry. This was not written in any of the Eastman memos. This wasn't the goal. The goal was to get the House delegation to make Trump the president, or to get Pence to just choose the false elector slates and for him to make Trump the president. That was the goal.
Right. And what would have happened would have been that it would have went to the Supreme Court.
You don't know that? Why do you just assume that?
It's clear. So you think what would have happened when Pence would have just said Trump's president and everyone would have said, shucks, I've been it.
Let's say that Pence says Trump's president, and then Trump remains president, and then what? How does it go to the court? Who investigates that?
The courts would have, as an emergency measure, taken the case immediately. Now,
wait. The courts would have taken the case from who?
Would have taken the cases that the alternate electors were claiming that there was.
Who brings the case, Rob? The federal government is going to do it because Donald Trump is the head of the DOJ.
Oh, horseshit. There would have been people that would have spoke up from not just the federal government, that were Democrat attorney generals, etc., but there would have been people outside of that would have demanded the courts hear this case.
You can't just demand a court hears a case. There has to be a plaintiff. Somebody has to file the complaint and bring the case in front of a court. Courts don't choose what they want to hear. Who has standing besides the federal government? Who would have standing there?
Well, who had standing anyways when it came to that? Wasn't that the issue you were okay with when it came to not hearing cases from Texas, that no one had standing?
These weren't about the vice president in his official duties as head of the Senate. These were totally different cases. I don't know if anybody has standing. The thing that I'm challenging, and by the way, I'm screaming at you, but it might have been maybe that that a state maybe could have brought this case before the Supreme Court. For the current one, I sure as fuck wouldn't have trusted them to hear it, but maybe they could have. But for you to act like it's a foregone conclusion that, oh no, well, obviously any state could have gone before the Supreme Court and challenged the way that the certification went. You don't fucking know that. Maybe that's the thing that only the federal government has standing to do. I don't know for in the Constitution if the states have the right to challenge how the federal government certifies the election. That sounds like something that would be outside of the purview of the states.
I think that it's quite clear that the states would have, that a Democratic state would have said that they had standing because they felt disenfranchised, and the Supreme Court would have been willing to hear that.
Well, really? Texas tried that with Pennsylvania, and the Supreme Court told them to kick rocks. So why would you assume that? Why would you assume a state has standing to challenge how the federal government certifies its votes?
Because what they told to kick rocks was the fact that one state doesn't have the right to say how another state adjudicates their elections. This would have been different because it would have had the federal government choosing to take a slate of electors that weren't chosen by, say, a Democratic state like, say, Arizona, right?
Sure, maybe the 7 states affected, maybe they could have brought the case. Maybe, but we don't. But for you to pretend that you know 100% that they would have had standing to do it, and that they would have heard the case, and that it would have turned out a-okay, that the Supreme Court would have sided with them, that in 2 weeks the Supreme Court would have made a decision, despite the fact that Donald Trump would also then be president. You don't know any of that. And also, look at how far gone you are. Look at how far gone you are. You're like, well, I mean, Trump could have stolen the election and essentially soft-couped the government. Well, with violence, I guess it would kind of be an insurrection, but we'll just say soft-couped the government. However, like maybe the Supreme Court would have heard it within maybe like a month or 2 or 3, and then hopefully they would have ruled on the side of, it would have had to have been, what, 7 different conjoined cases? Then hopefully for every single case, they present these correct. Like, how long would this have taken? Like, look at how far gone you are. You're like, okay, and then like 10 months into the term.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think this is an issue of having too much sex. This to me reads like not having sex at all. Is it possible that Destiny just talks a good game about having sex because, like, people who are actually getting laid on a regular basis don't tend to be this angry? And especially, I mean, and again, I don't really care what people do in the bedroom. Like, what you do in the bedroom is your decision. But, like, it's my understanding that when Destiny is with men, he's, like, a bottom. And I'm going to be honest, Destiny kind of seems like he could, maybe it would help alleviate some tension and some angst if he just got fucked. Maybe he hasn't done that in a while because it kind of seems like he's got some pent up. So I don't know. It doesn't seem to me like I would think he's having sex.
The president has to step down? Like, it's unhinged.
We'll let Rob respond, and then we'll move on to some other speakers that have their hand up. Is that cool, Rob? Is that okay?
Yes, I will be. It's not that far gone. It's obvious that would have occurred. It's not something that I supported. I thought there were court cases that should have been heard in places like Georgia and other places, Pennsylvania, where there were election challenges that should have been heard. But there was never definitive proof, and I was against Mike Pence signing off on those. He didn't, but I'm okay with, for criminality, to try to attempt a legal strategy like this. This wasn't a coup that was near as damaging.
Nick Fuentes is significantly smarter than Destiny in that Nick Fuentes channels his virginity into actually doing things and create. This is a real thing, guys. If you're not having sex, you've got to channel your energy creatively. You've got to create something of value in the world, because creative energy and sexual energy is the same thing. So, and Nick Fuentes knows this. I've heard him talk about it. So even though Nick Fuentes is a virgin, he is channeling that energy effectively. Destiny is coming unhinged and unglued because he doesn't understand this.
Damaging as what you have ignored, which was the FBI's behavior towards Trump.
What would the criminality even be here? Who would be doing the criminal behavior?
What criminal behavior? You're the one that's supporting Trump going to jail for this.
No, I'm asking you, like, let's say it goes to the Supreme Court. What are they even challenging?
They would challenge whether or not the ultimate slate of electors were legitimate because there was actually fraud claims that were true. That the Supreme Court wouldn't have been holding a criminal case at that point.
Hold on, wait a second. If you're arguing, hold on, just so I can be clear. You're saying that in an ideal world, it would have gone to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court would have looked at it, and then the Supreme Court would have ruled in favor of the states in having the correct slates of electors chosen?
Correct.
Then why the fuck did you call them alternate slates instead of fraudulent slates, Rob?
Because their feel was that there was...
Oh my God, you're a literal Nazi? You defend literal Nazis? Oh my God. Dude, you're way too stupid to be here. Goodbye.
A legitimate incorrect
When
count
the
of
fuck
vote.
has that ever mattered? And if I feel like the bank owes me $1 million and I go and rob the bank, can I use that as an affirmative defense in court?
In Hawaii, when there was 2 slates of electors, was one fake?
No, because both were authorized by the state, Rob. Are you aware of that?
I am aware. But
Then
let's
why,
say
wait. Why did you just bring up Hawaii?
Wait,
Did you think I
guys,
didn't know
guys.
about it? No, hold on. One second.
No,
Why
no,
did you bring
I
up,
know,
why did you bring up Hawaii then when we're talking about a presidential candidate that got 7 false slates of electors certified in order to send to Congress? Why would you bring up Hawaii as a counterexample to that?
I've talked to you about Hawaii.
Then why would you bring it up?
Because
Guys,
there were 2.
I'm going to sorry to interrupt. We've been going.
Okay. Here, wait. Give Rob the last word. Go ahead.
Right.
Pardon?
I'll just say.
Give
it
Rob the
wasn't
last word and then we go.
Roger. Even though the states accepted it, as you know, each state can choose their own manner in which they adjudicate this. If a state wanted to have an issue with alternate slates of electors, that's one thing. The idea that it's a federal crime for Trump to suggest this is another. And the point I'm trying to make is what happened in Hawaii was they had to put that alternate slate because the time frame on when these slates of electors had to be accepted was going to run out before they could do the recount that they found was necessary. And no one said that's fake slate of electors. The idea, what you seem to be implying is a fake slate is somehow that they were nefarious and lying and there was a chance that Mike Pence wouldn't have known. It's absurd. They knew which were the slate that was chosen by the states and those which weren't. And they know that those which weren't were protesting the election, which they had every right to do. It may have been ham-fisted. It may have been stupid optically, but it's not a criminal charge. And given what we saw from ages...
Wait, you think that Destiny screaming like an unhinged retard on the internet for 2 hours is a W? You and I have very different definitions of W, bro. I will take Nick Fuentes every single day over this bullshit. Destiny hasn't said one smart thing in this entire fucking debate. All he's done is deflect and gaslight and deflect and gaslight and deflect. This is probably why Nick kicked his ass in that debate on Fresh and Fit, which I know I should watch at some point on the stream. There is no universe in which Destiny is anywhere close to Nick Fuentes' level. Oh yeah? Oh, I'm not pushing 40, honey. I'm not pushing 40. I'm past 40. But thanks for the compliment. You think I'm younger than I am. But that doesn't matter because now you're too stupid to be here and therefore banned. As a reminder, guys, there are rules in this chat. Do not insult me. Do not insult other people in the chat. I'm not asking a lot here. It's 2 a.m. If you're going to come into my chat and act like a deranged lunatic because you don't like people saying words on the internet, you don't have to be here. Oh, yeah? Oh, cry more? Oh, goodbye. Goodbye. This is fun. I'm like, Destiny people, show yourself so I can just ban you and get it over with.
That you supported for years, like the FBI illegally spying on Trump, that was more of a coup to this country than Trump's failed attempt to have the courts look at fraud from these election cases.
Okay, we'll leave it there. We can revisit if people want to revisit that further. Their hands up. I'd like to get to some of the hands. We have Darwin, and then I believe it was the older millennial, then Lauren, and then Christian Lamar. So in that order, Darwin, feel free to unmute and speak, and then we'll move on to the next speakers. And let's try to, keep it one at a time so that people can hear. I have people getting mad at me in the DMs that when you guys talk over each other, no one can hear anything. Thanks.
Hey, Destiny, how's it going?
Great.
So I'm curious. You talk about how if you mess around, then you find out. And basically, what I understand your position to be, listening so far, is if somebody supports Trump or if they go to a Trump rally, then it's open season on them. Do I have you wrong there?
I wouldn't say it's open season. I'm just saying if shit happens, I mean, I don't know why anybody would have any sympathy.
Well, are you actually against people shooting Trump supporters at this point?
I think it's probably not a good idea, but again, I don't have any sympathy for it. I don't care.
Are you against people shooting Trump supporters? Probably not the best idea, but I don't really give a fuck.
Okay. Do you think that it's democratic to shoot people who are against democracy?
In some cases, probably, yeah. Just depends on the case, right? I mean, isn't that kind of what the whole Revolutionary War was about? Was shooting people that were trying to prevent our democracy? You guys are the ones that marched with the 1776 thing, right?
No, so true. I take the communists over
Well, I
him.
suppose.
Do you think that like revolutions and shit that are fighting for democracies, do you think they shoot people that are against democracy to defend democracy?
Yeah, I think people typically shoot people whenever there's a revolution.
Okay.
But it's just interesting to me. I thought the whole point of democracy is that you vote. You don't shoot people who want to run government in a different way. Is that not your understanding of democracy?
Typically it is. It's also my understanding of democracy that, say, for instance, if you've engaged in insurrection, that you're ineligible to hold office again. But that rule got wiped away by the Supreme Court because we didn't like it, because we had to make an exception for Donald Trump to run for president again. So I guess like the rules of democracy just don't seem to apply in the same way when it comes to Donald Trump. It's also my understanding, for instance, that you can impeach a person.
Well, actually, I mean, the Supreme Court decision is going to apply to Biden just as much as it's going to apply to Trump, just as much as it's going to apply to the next Democratic president, just as much as it's going to apply. So the Supreme Court decision will actually apply to presidents equally, regardless of party. So I don't know why Destiny is saying, well, they're just not playing by equal rules. Yes, they are. The decision just got made. What do you want? That's how it works.
In the House and then convict them in the Senate if you feel they've done wrong and you want to not have them hold future office. But Republicans disagreed with that, and they said, actually, you can impeach a man that's out of office. It was also my understanding that people can be held criminally liable for the actions that they perform, irrespective of their position in society, that no man is above the law. But the Supreme Court has also disagreed with that, and now Trump enjoys absolute criminal immunity for every core action as president, and presumptive immunity, at least, for basically every other thing he did while president.
Supreme Court or Supreme Pizza, one has to go. I mean, I think the Supreme Court is actually kind of important, if I'm honest about it. If we don't have a Supreme Court, then we're pretty fucked. So I mean, as much as I do enjoy a good Supreme Pizza, although I haven't had one in a very long time, I would have to say the Supreme Court probably needs to stick around.
President. So all of these ideas of what a democracy is and how you hold people accountable in democracy seems like Trump and his fans don't like any of those rules. So again, if you make a king, I mean, people are going to treat him as a king.
Yeah, it's just strange to me. It seems like and let me know if you're wrong, but if I'm wrong here, but it seems like
true. First
you would
against
be
the
fine
wall.
with taking out half the country as long as they are in support of Trump because he's a dictator.
Would I be fine with it? Probably not. It'd be pretty tragic, but I think it's more tragic that we've gotten to the point where half the country supports an insurrectionist. And I don't appreciate that for some reason conservatives have been able to dictate so much of the media agenda that we're just supposed to accept that as normal.
Do you think maybe the way that you're talking speaks to the way that politics has a way of poisoning our minds?
I think that if that was the case, I don't think this is like a person at the bottom of a pool, like dyed with black water, trying to tell me what he sees on the surface of the pool. Like if you're somebody that has sit there and retweeted every epic own where Tim Pool is saying civil war, where Marjorie Taylor Greene and all these people are talking about Nancy Pelosi's husband, where everybody's denying that the Whitmer thing ever happened, whatever that is, whatever that group of people are, they are unequipped and they are unable to levy any legitimate criticism towards anybody else that's laughing at the fact that somebody showing up at a fucking dictator rally ends up getting shot by a guy trying to kill the dictator. No, whatever criticisms there are to make there, that side wouldn't be able to make it.
And that's because that side supports January 6th. Is that right?
That's because that side supports an insurrection against the government.
Which is January 6th, correct?
That and the events leading up to it, yes.
Right. So it seems like what I'm understanding is you don't have to be held morally accountable for any of the things that you're doing because the other side supports an insurrectionist. So it's okay to kill them.
Great
it's okay
point.
to
I never said it was okay to kill them. The country has laws. If you shoot somebody or whatever, you should be held. Well, ooh, actually, I don't know. Actually, hold on. I'm so sorry. Wait, I want to walk that back. I don't think in a room full of conservatives, I wouldn't say that anything should be like, you should be held criminally liable for anything. I don't know if I would feel comfortable saying that around conservatives, because apparently you guys think that that's not the case. That
you can do anything you want in a room full of conservatives and you shouldn't be held criminally liable for it. Yeah, totes, bro. Totes. Great idea.
Some people in this country shouldn't be held criminally liable for some things. But if I was in a room full of friendly people that actually appreciated rule of law, then I would say, if you shoot and kill somebody, regardless of the reason, well, not regardless, I mean, self-defense, whatever is acceptable, but no, you should be held criminally liable, of course.
Okay. I mean, if that's the case, why don't you speak out against the violence instead of making light of it and basically encouraging it?
the encouragement comes from the other side that anointed a king. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Nancy Pelosi or Hillary Clinton saying illegitimate president is contributing to the.
Does Destiny have any idea how many people that are on the right don't actually like Trump? Anointed a king? The right almost tore itself apart over like the debate between Trump or Ron DeSantis. Like, the right is completely factionalized. There are even still DeSantis voters to this day. I mean, maybe they've relented since Trump got shot in the ear, but like up until like 2 days ago, there were still DeSantis voters that were like hardcore never Trumpers. And Destiny seems to think that like Trump is this king that has complete support on the right. I mean, he might now, but it required him getting shot in the ear.
To the current conditions in this country more than the guy who's literally known for making up bad nicknames for political opponents. That's fucking wild. 95% of why Trump is even supported by you dipshits is because of how.
Bro, I know you're a Destiny person. You need to hinge back into reality right now. You don't think people on the right criticize Trump? I have made it into an art form. I mean, I guess I'm not a conservative, but like I did vote for Trump in 2020. I have made it into an art form to shit on Trump and Trump voters. There are so many people that voted for Trump in 2020 very happily that have since made it into an art form, a literal art form. It is all they do to shit on Trump and other Trump voters. There is an entire DeSantis contingent that, again, up until 2 days ago, and they may change their mind now because Trump got shot in the ear, but like, did you guys literally not follow the primary at all? Because it was like a bloody fucking death match among conservatives all the way up until Iowa when Ron DeSantis got his ass kicked. Or did he win? But it was no, he didn't. I don't even fucking remember. All the way up until the primary started and Ron DeSantis started getting his ass kicked. Like, it was like fucking blood sports on the right, constantly arguing. There was a whole new Never Trump contingent that was born. You guys really don't understand this? Wow.
Epic he is on Twitter. So no, I'm not going to sit here and chastise people on the left who are being a little bit divisive about rhetoric. It's insane.
Okay, I was just curious about that. One other thing I'm really curious about. Go ahead, Clint.
Real quick, just to piggyback off your point about democracy. Stephen's point is that basically Donald Trump is this existential threat because he's an insurrectionist and ultimately a threat to democracy. But at the same time, he's saying that 70 million Americans are essentially not fair game, but deserve no sympathy if they're caught up in the crossfire of this brewing war. Why do you still think that democracy is worth defending if you believe that the favorite to be the next president of the United States is ultimately a threat to democracy itself? Doesn't that kind of defeat the entire argument in favor of democracy?
It might actually, yeah. I mean, like that's always a possibility that this is like we're approaching the end of the American experiment. We have the longest surviving constitution of any currently established government on the country. And the guy that we're voting for right now likely wants to suspend that constitution so that he can investigate his political opponents for criminal wrongdoing. And half the country seems to not give a fuck. So it might be that like this is the end of the road and that this is kind of where we get off the American democratic experiment train. It's possible.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the older millennial and then Lauren Southern.
To be really clear for people who are new to me, I'm an anarchist. Like I'm an anarcho-capitalist. I don't want the government to exist. I have a pretty eclectic mix of people on my channel. Normally we talk about the far left and we look into the radical revolutionary far left and that sort of stuff. But like I have conservatives, I have independents, I have libertarians, I have socialists that watch my channel. I have a really big mix of people who watch my channel. But the common thread, yeah, it's more of like an anti-commie channel. I do other stuff too, but the common thread among people on my channel is that we want to be hinged into reality with what people actually believe. We don't want to pander to bullshit. We actually listen to people. That's why we're listening to this whole thing start to finish. We're not taking clips out of context. We're listening to the whole thing. So I don't really care what people believe. I care that people are hinged into reality and what the truth is and what people are actually saying and doing in the real world. And you might come to different beliefs about things, but as long as you understand what people are really saying instead of just making shit up, that's all I'm asking for.
To keep it kind of flowing, and then we can take more requests after that if you're still willing to oblige.
Yeah, I don't think my point's going to take that long. It's like, so I mean, I've heard Destiny speak a lot, and I think he's made it very clear.
Why are there anti-Semites in the chat? Because Nick Fuentes and the Gripers love me. They do. It's real. That's why. And if I'm honest about it, I kind of love them too. You know, platonically, of course. We're not talking about romantic love, but I adore Nick Fuentes. I adore the Gripers. I think they're awesome. And so that's why they're here. If you can't stand them being here, you can go somewhere else. Really that simple, bro.
And even made it very clear in this live that you believe nobody's above the law. You believe everybody who commits criminal activity should be prosecuted for criminal activity. And then on an earlier point, you were talking about the classified documents. You were saying that Trump having them for a year shows criminality, shows he should be prosecuted.
Hold on, to be clear, wait, Trump having them for a year doesn't show anything. It's the fact that he had them. He knew he had them. He knew they were classified and that he didn't classify them, and that he knowingly kept them and then obstructed investigators from getting to them. That, yeah.
Okay, I completely agree with anybody that I don't disagree with people that think that Trump holding on to those documents, he should be prosecuted for it. I don't.
Did I make up with big tech? Just the fact that we're kind of like I'm kind of derailing a little bit, guys, because it's my stream. I'll do what I want. I'm getting sick of listening to Destiny yell all the time. We're gonna listen to the stream, but if you guys have questions in the chat, we can banter about other stuff too, I guess. Did I make up with big tech? I'm gonna get in trouble even for bringing this question up on the stream, and that should tell you exactly what the situation is with big tech and I tried so fucking hard in so many ways. And let's just say that one of us is acting more like a woman in this situation than the actual woman in the situation. And that makes me very sad. And I wish that wasn't the case because I really tried. I have never tried so much to mend a situation. And one of us is behaving like a woman and one of us is not. And that's all I'll say about that.
Disagree with you. And now him having them for a year and holding on to them and knowing they were classified, knowing he wasn't supposed to have them, that
I'm going to get in trouble for that too.
Totally
I know I'm going to get in trouble for that.
Under that same vein and under the fact that nobody is above the law, that we know from transcripts from Robert Hur during interviews that in 2018, Biden was aware that he had classified documents that he wasn't supposed to have. We know that he even said to his ghostwriter, he said they just found the classified documents downstairs. So that it's not debatable whether or not he knows he had them. So that would be 2018, where he's not in office. He didn't have a right to take them because he was VP anyway. And then he had them, and then he didn't turn them in until late 2023. So that would be somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 years of knowingly retaining classified documents that he does not have a right to. So under the idea that nobody's above the law, he should certainly be prosecuted.
Bro, what I'm telling you is that there were still up until, listen, everything changed when Trump got shot in the ear, okay? Like the field has completely shifted. But up until Trump literally got shot, there were still DeSantis people, disgruntled DeSantis people that were still never Trumpers. You can go back and look at the tweets of anyone that worked on the DeSantis campaign, and they're still bitter AF about the fact that they lost, and they lost badly because Ron DeSantis ran one of the worst possible campaigns in like the history of campaigns. But there were still people that were working against Trump up until a day and a half ago. Maybe they still will. I don't know, but I know that they were.
Sure. If you want to charge him with a crime, go for it.
Okay. No, that's just what I wanted to clarify, because I was hearing that because the question got asked where you were asked earlier, what about Biden having those documents? And you you definitely did not answer that question. You said you wanted him to answer your question first, and we never got the answer to that. So I was just curious,
Well, because the whataboutism is just like silly that like the documents case of what Trump is facing is like the least of the concerns. I would say that the whole conspiracy to defraud the American public and throw the election, I would say is like the bigger concern. But yeah, if you want to charge, Biden with a fucking crime or whatever, knock yourself out, charge him and see how it goes in court. I guess. Yeah.
So, but no, I'm not asking about charging. What I'm asking is, so you believe that Trump is a criminal for what he did with the classified documents? So then that
well, hold on. Do I believe that? Well, hold on. Wait. No. I just want to clarify. I just want to clarify. Hold on. When we say, do I think someone is a criminal? I think that from what I've seen in the indictments, I think that Donald Trump is rightfully charged with the things that he's indicted for. Now, is he a criminal? Well, he would have to go to court, and if he's convicted, then he would be. Well, I guess right now he is. Well, maybe we'll see if he gets thrown out, I guess, after the Supreme Court ruling. If he beats the conviction or whatever, for whatever reason, then he wouldn't be a criminal. But I think that the charges, I think, are warranted. Yes.
So you would feel that.
Listen, man, I appreciate Destiny people coming here and being reasonable and not like shitting on me. I appreciate that. I don't hate you guys. I just don't like the way he's behaving. But you're allowed to think whatever you want. I don't care.
Even if the courts found him innocent, let him go. There wouldn't be any videos about how he got away with it because it was a judge he put in there. It would just be that's the way the justice system works, and he's obviously innocent.
If he went through the court process and assuming there wasn't like anything fucking unhinged or insane that happened, then yeah, I mean, sometimes people you don't like win in court. Like it happens. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it happens. Be like, okay, well, he won. He survived the process. Yeah.
I'm just saying that under your line of thinking, if we're being logically consistent, then the current occupant of the White House committed criminal activity.
Okay.
Just supporting a criminal. Something you accuse conservatives of doing a lot.
No, it's not really about supporting a criminal. I don't think I've used that phrase a single time in here. So the problem is you come under here with the assumption that I'm as much of a cowardly fuck as you are, and that I won't hold my side to account because you won't hold your side to account. If you think that Biden had done, the fact that you had to walk me through 5 minutes of wasted time to say, if you think that Biden, there's reasonable suspicion or probable cause he committed a crime, would you support charges against him? And if he did do it, yeah, of course I would. Fine, charge him, convict him, whatever the fuck. Sure. The problem isn't that. The problem isn't that I don't even know if you could perceive my character from the puddle on the ground that you move around in. Okay.
We had perceived your character as a 30-year-old man that traveled across the world to go fuck a 18-year-old girl.
Okay. Well, now I'm a 35-year-old man. I'm gonna travel across the world. Go fuck your mom. Okay. All I'm saying is that the reason. Wait. Hold on. Wait. Real quick. Don't cut him off. Hold on. I'm just saying. Wait.
Hands, please.
Yeah, wait, hold on, real quick.
You guys have resorted to insults now. I think.
Wait, no, it's okay. We love insults here. Okay, it's fine. Hold on, just as a real quick thing. Okay, I don't care if people support.
Okay, listen, everyone needs to be very nice to B. B, we want you to stay around. Come to my normal streams. I normally stream Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. We're going to be doing a lot of heavy coverage of the RNC this week. There's going to be a lot of streaming this week. And so, like, come to my normal streams, subscribe to the channel. Let's you and I can be friends, bro. We can disagree. That's okay. You can stick around. I appreciate you. I'll even sometimes stream without wearing a hat so you can see my hair and stuff. And, maybe I'll show you a shoulder every now. I'm just kidding. I'm not actually kidding, but like, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Or like a
quick, and then I would like to move on to Lauren, please.
Hold on. Aren't I half the owner of the space? Let the guy finish. Hold on. I just want to make one point, and then he can make one point, and then you can move on to Lauren again. Okay. No Canadian favoritism here. Okay.
Co-host instead.
Am I not a co-host?
No, you're just a speaker.
Okay, well, just...
Okay, go on. Finish your point.
Yes,
Sorry, interrupting. Then we'll move on to Lauren. Finish your point.
Sure. Okay, yeah, well, then give him the last word, okay? I don't care. Like, supporting a criminal is not my thing. It's supporting an insurrectionist. That's what I've said since the very beginning.
All the Destiny people who think I'm just, like, a hopeless conservative and Trump supporter and all that because I'm wearing a hat, you guys should know I yell at conservatives more than anyone else. And more than any other group. I bully the ever-loving shit out of conservatives on this channel. And a lot of people come to my channel because they like being bullied by me. But like there are a lot of people that like don't like being bullied by me. And most of the time they're whining conservatives. And so if you guys want to bully whining conservatives, like you're home. I promise you. We do that here too.
I'm sure that if you go through a lot of people's actions, you might be able to find crimes. Maybe you could charge them, maybe they'd even get convicted for it. My issue right now is not the documents case with Donald Trump. That's just one of the 4 indictments that he was facing. The 2 huge ones, the Georgia one and the big federal one, the Jack Smith one about insurrection. Those are the 2 massive things. Okay. I don't even know if you want to support a president who's had criminal charges, who did criminal behavior, I don't even think that's necessarily anti-American, depending on what you're criminally charged with. There's a whole host of like stupid things.
Do I support the insurrection? Do I support it? I was there, motherfucker. I got an FBI interview out of that shit. I think January 6th didn't go far enough. I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome. I have no regrets about being there. None. None in any way. Maybe. Thank you.
Things there where it's like, that's criminal, you should be held accountable for it, but it's not like anti-American. Supporting insurrection absolutely is.
It's not anti-American to not actually keep track of classified documents that put our classified activities in danger. That's not anti-American. That's not.
I mean, it would depend. It would depend on. It would depend on.
As somebody who spent 10 years in the Army, I know that anybody that misplaced any classified materials in the Army, if you misplaced even a low-level classified document, one of them, you were going to lose rank, you were going to lose pay, you were very likely going to be getting jail in the Army. You're definitely going to be discharged from the military. So,
hold on, just as a real quick thing, you probably, I mean, you could be discharged, you could lose your job, you could lose rank, whatever. Yeah. Likely criminally charged, probably not.
Here's the thing. First of all, as somebody who worked in the crypto side of the Army, yes, you will be criminally charged. In fact, I've seen people be criminally charged. I've seen soldiers be criminally charged for losing a crypto device in a Humvee that was blown the fuck up. So yes,
yeah, no, that doesn't happen. No, that doesn't happen. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. I'll tweet you. I'll tweet you the guy.
Yeah, that's great.
I was just going to add something real quick. I would say that's
sorry, Myron, thanks for coming in, and thanks for coming on. I know I usually troll you pretty hard, but we can put that aside for now. Lauren had her hand up, and then I believe it was Christian Lamar, and then we can go. Let's do the hands. Let's get through the hands that people have been waiting patiently for, and then we can get to you because I'm willing to host the space as long as Destiny's willing. Okay, is that cool?
Am I supposed to say
Lauren,
yes to that?
go ahead.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I mean, listening to this, it sounds like whenever you go back to the electors stuff, you make it sound very cut and dry. Like this was an insurrection. This was extremely deliberate, extremely illegal. Like, how could they? This has never been done before in the country's history. But when I read about it a bit, like fake certificates, this is from AP News, fake certificates were submitted in the battleground states of Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. In New Mexico and Pennsylvania, fake electors added caveat saying the certificate was submitted in case they were later recognized as duly elected qualified electors. That would only have been possible if Trump had won any of several dozen legal battles he waged against states in the weeks after the election. Republican Party of New Mexico Chairman Steve Pierce said Friday that the state faced numerous election challenges that had the possibility of going before a court. Therefore, he said the GOP electors cast their votes by the deadline written within federal statute in the event the election outcome changed. And Democratic Attorney General Torres agrees
we love B more than anyone
Republican
else.
Electors did not violate the law, but now he wants to criminalize the process used by both Democrats and Republicans. Pierce said, referring to the 1960 presidential election, in which Democrat electors in Hawaii cast votes for John F. Kennedy, despite that state initially being called for Republican Richard Nixon. So this sounds like a little more complicated than just this cut and dry, like Trump was trying to steal the election with his electors.
Get off
Hold
the
on.
screen.
Why? The whole point of submitting the false slates of electors were so that Vice President Pence would choose them when Congress was counting the votes in order to choose the false slates of electors, or to use them to cause confusion, to throw it back to the House delegation, to just make Trump the president. There is no part of that that is a legitimate or legal process.
Well, then why did the Attorney General, the Democrat Attorney General, agree that the electors did not violate the law?
Saying that somebody didn't violate a particular criminal statute in a state speaks nothing to the federal case of the criminal conspiracy to overturn the election. It might be that in 2 states, maybe they found a carve-out or a caveat to avoid criminal charges, but the electorates were not chosen by that state, and the goal of those electorates was not to represent the actual voters of the state. The goal was for Pence to unilaterally declare Trump the president in Congress using a variety of means.
All right, I'll read the indictments and we can have a debate about this at a further date, but it definitely seems like a little more complex than
It's absolutely not. I know it seems that way, but it's just because it's the first time you've ever read it in your entire life, and now you're trying to nibble around the edges of like, well, actually, the way they crossed this T on this particular thing, maybe I know, and I'm gonna love when you come back and you're like, oh, well, actually, if you actually look in 17, or actually in the year 1427, there was a British king once, and he talked to a feudal lord, and when they were doing their play electorate college for their children, they actually did this thing, and the common law said, bullshit. The people voted in a certain way. The electorate slates were not contested. This has never been a thing that's been contested. And Donald Trump is laid out in a whole thing. As part of your reading, you should Google Eastman memo, and you can read the whole plan. Nothing about that is democratic. Nothing about that is legal. It hinged on them assuming that the electoral count was unconstitutional and that they would be able to challenge it on the floor and have it thrown to the court while they cause mayhem and seat Trump as president. No part of this comes off as like a legal democratic process, even if an individual actor in a state might avoid state criminal charges for it.
Great, I will read it because I sure as shit am not taking your word for it.
Okay.
Okay, we can go to
Yeah.
It was
Christian.
Christian. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. So I got a question for Destiny. Do you first of all, you live in the United States, right?
Unfortunately,
Correct.
right now.
All right. Well, we'll figure that out.
Do you know?
I appreciate you.
I'm assuming you're a citizen here. So do you know what kind of country you live in, as far as the type of government? Is the country, are the three branches of government, Article 1, Article 2, Article 3, are the three branches of government, do those three branches equal a democracy?
Do those three, are you trying to quiz me on structures of government? I'm pretty sure democracy just means that the people vote on things.
No.
I think a republic means you've got representatives that create legislation for you. I think we're considered a democratic republic.
Hang on, we got a super chat. Let me read this. A lot of text. Destiny spent 3 years trying to convert Trump supporters. He failed. Yesterday's events happened. He saw Trump's photo op and cemented in his mind a 100% loss and loss. Yeah, this is probably the best explanation for why we're seeing this. Destiny just saw all of his hopes and dreams dashed when Trump got shot in the ear. It was over. And when Trump raised his fist in the air, Destiny knew it. Destiny knew he was totally and completely fucked, that Trump was absolutely going to win this election, and there's nothing he can do about it. And so now Destiny is working out his feelings on the internet. That's all that's going on. As a reminder, guys, we are going to finish up the space. I do just want to remind everyone, though, that I just launched, speaking of Trump getting shot in the ear, I just launched my new limited edition Trump t-shirt, and I wasn't going to do this except that Trump raising his fist over his head was so iconic that I couldn't help myself, and so we have to celebrate the rise of Trump, because it was just the most badass thing I've ever seen in my life for an 80-year-old guy to get shot in the ear and fall down to the floor and then get up and wrestle with his security and then say that, to raise his fist and yell fight. I mean, it was badass, man. It was gangster. So I made a t-shirt. Some people might think it's in bad taste. I see it as a tribute. So if you want to pick up that t-shirt, it is 25% off in the Unwoke Art store right now. Link in the description below. I also just put it in the chat. It's pinned to the top. The discount is automatically applied at checkout. There's lots of other great stuff in the store as well. You want the black hat I have? You got to get that from the Trump campaign. I had to give the Trump campaign $47 to get this hat. I don't know if they're still making these hats, but I got these. Trump did the black MAGA hat when he got convicted of the felony, and they said, if you give us $47, then we will send you a hat. And I was like, done. Done. So you can pick that up in the Unwoke Art store, guys. But I do think this space is almost over. So we are going to wrap it up. And thank you guys for hanging out with me at 2:30 in the morning, especially anyone new here. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys. Please make sure you mount the like button for me, whether you're watching on YouTube or Rumble. And hope you guys come back when I'm doing, normal content during the day.
But we're also a constitutional republic. It's a constitution that sources the three separate branches of power. I don't know. What are you trying to quiz me on to see if I don't know it? I saw fucking trivia of American government. Yeah, tell me. What do you asking?
Okay, so you because again,
listen, B. I you can send me whatever money you want, bro. However much you want. I'm not gonna argue with it. We'll work out a more formal arrangement, not at 2:30 in the morning.
Of all the things that you have said, you've reverted back to saying that the country is either a democratic or a democracy. So the
country is a democracy.
Wait,
Yes.
One second. So is the word democratic, democracy, or Democrat written in the text of the U.S. Constitution?
I don't know if it's written in the text of the U.S. Constitution, but voting is. And
okay. So I'll answer it for you. It's not. Okay. So you have first of all, Article 2.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Wait. Before you go on this whole yap fest, are you gonna try to make the argument to me that the United States is not a democracy?
Probably. Yeah.
It's not a democracy. It's not.
How do you define democracy?
Because you said that it would be okay with shooting someone if they did not believe or agree that the country is a democracy or democratic or Democrat, whatever the case may be, but it's not. And you
how do you sure, wait real quick so that we're on the same page. How do you define a democracy?
So
a democracy is not what we have.
I didn't ask what it's not. Is this a troll? What is a democracy?
It would be primarily based on, number one, using the popular vote as much as possible.
Yeah, that's not true. No, that's not true.
And then number
that's
two,
not true. Yeah,
and then number two, democracy allows the government to go around the text of the Constitution and not abide strictly by the text in the Constitution. We have in our country we have the three branches.
So we can't come after me now.
First of all, Article 3 is appointed by Article 2, and also Article 3 has to be confirmed by a half of Article 1. Article 2 is elected by the Electoral College, and then even when you look at Article 1, Article 1 is divided up by congressional seats based on our census. That census is also divvied up according to the Electoral College, and then you have the maps that are drawn.
Okay, I'm good. I don't need the fake fucking government lesson. If you don't have anything, if you don't have anything else to say, we just go to the next person. Other people want to speak.
Your whole premise.
If there are other people, sir, I honestly don't give a fuck with what you have to say. I don't need to listen to somebody talk about how the country that I live in isn't a democracy. Then why are you speaking? Then why are you talking?
Thank you. I know you don't care. Okay. So now going back to
okay, poke me when this dude is done, okay?
You just stop listening.
Okay. You think he's done?
Hasn't been.
Nope, he's still yapping. Fuck, I didn't mean for this to go on. He's doing the U.S. as a republic and not a democracy. He might want to make the super strict argument that like an individual citizen gets a right to vote isn't like founded in the in any of the Constitution, which I'm pretty sure is technically true because, like I mean, we've said this before, the states vote for president, but like the idea that like the people are the ones that vote for things, that it's we the people, it's not we the representative, it's not we the parliament, it's not we the Congress, is. Yeah, the idea that this guy would come on and try to make the argument, well, actually, we're not a democracy at all. We're some other whatever autistic shit he was arguing for, I guess. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
We're in the land of retardia tonight, for sure.
Do they know you muted him? I have no idea. Don't know. Don't care.
You want me to demand $50? Send me $50 right now. I'm just doing that because you asked me to. I actually feel bad about draining people of money, but like, if you want to send me $50, send me $50 right now. Is this actually what people do on the internet? Thank you, Jenny's getting inky with it. Destiny needs to quit spreading Russian disinformation. I feel bad about demanding money. I know, but I'm not used to having that type of relationship with my audience, okay? I don't normally do that sort of thing. I know I can come across as a domineering bitch, and I know sometimes I can turn into a dominatrix on my channel, but like Oh God. Oh God.
No, it's not a.
No, he's still going. I think at one point senators were appointed by state legislatures rather than directly elected. That is true until I think relatively recently. Your federal senators, the people that go to your law house, were just chosen by the by your state assembly.
Thank you, B.
When did U.S.
I
or when
appreciate
did
you.
states change how they vote for senators?
Did
Since
he leave the Twitter space?
1913. It might even be found. I think we need to do a constitution, Jim. I think in the original constitution, I think it was founded. I think in the original wording that. No, I don't think it would have been that the state assembly chose senators. I don't remember where that was.
Send me more next time, you loser. I cannot believe I'm
Someday
doing
we'll
this.
go through all the amendments and everything.
Oh
Quick 940
God.
while he yaps.
I'm going to hell. I don't even believe hell exists. Oh! Thank you, Grasslands G. I appreciate you. Thank you. I've found my lane. It took 4 years on the internet. I found my lane.
Oh shit, I muted this. Here we go.
Is that it? Is he done with the space? I think that might be it. Is that it? Is that all this is? Does he go back to the space? I don't think he does.
He didn't insurrect.
No.
No problem. I got you.
I think that was basically.
And I would just like to say,
hang on.
Thanks for
Daniel!
eventually catching up and agreeing.
Hang on, Daniel. Thank you. Does anyone else want me to yell at them? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Thank you, guys. Hang on, we got another one from Jenny. That guy's got to D so bad he's having to fact check. Yup. Thank you. Denali, you want me to yell at you? Send me $50 right now, Denali. All right, is he back in?
Not to shout at people.
Oh, sorry.
I think I.
Insurrectionist, and then they get shot, and they're like, "Wait, what? Violence at the rallies for the guy that's saying we need to overthrow Bernstein Bears?" And I'm like, "Can you read this cover to cover?" And you're like, "Wow." So if I can't read fucking Moby Dick, I'm not allowed to have an opinion on something. I'm asking for the bare minimum of political knowledge, the bare minimum, like knowing what a president was charged with. I'm not asking for something exceptional. If he, well,
you don't know
there's
how much
two.
knowledge he
Well, there's
had.
only two possibilities. Either one, he had no knowledge, in which case, fuck him. You're still supporting an insurrectionist. In a democracy, you have some minimum responsibility to understand your candidates. Or two, he had a lot of knowledge, in which case, fuck him. He's knowingly supporting an insurrectionist.
Okay, so without knowing what.
Yeah, I think. I want my cozy channel now. I like unironically want a fucking cozy channel now. But I don't want to ask for it because I'm like, I don't want to feel like because that wasn't actually originally what I wanted. I never actually thought I wanted that, but now I do want that. I do. No, please. You guys are going to get me in trouble. Oh, you guys are going to get me in trouble, and then I'm going to have to deal with more womanly behavior, and I can't. I fucking can't. I can't. Oh, all right. Let's wrap up.
He knew it's still FAFO.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, no problem. I got you.
Okay. And I would just like to say, thanks for eventually catching up and agreeing not to shout at people.
Oh, sorry.
I think I'm pretty brave for taking on the brunt of your rage in the very beginning. I think maybe you're taking it out on me because you're angry with a whole lot of people, and then I just happened to ask for a chat. So I'm gonna overlook that and say thank you for agreeing to somewhat moderate your tone when you're speaking with the people. So thanks for that.
Sure. Also, just to be clear, the Corey dipshit was tweeting out. He simped for Putin and he supported the January 6th shit. So just to be clear, he did.
What do you mean?
When he says the Corey dipshit, he means the man who died at the rally with the bullet meant for Trump. Destiny is actually seething over the tweets of the guy who died at the rally, who was like a firefighter, by the way, and actually seemed to be like a really good person. Like, his daughter wrote this whole emotional post. Chief Trumpster wrote it. It was a lovely tribute. And it's like, the Corey dipshit. Destiny needs to get off the fucking internet.
Simped. Like, can you
like there was some picture of 4 people and one of them was Putin. It was like, if you had to save any of the people in this picture, which one would you save? He was like, I would save Putin. And then he had a bunch
so
of...
it was a meme.
Well, hey, listen, I mean, that's about all that you get. Conservatives even engage with news on is fucking memes. So that's about all I have to go on to figure out what your political opinion. So sorry. It seems to be the case. Yeah. That when you tell me when I say, have you read the criminal indictment? And you're like, oh, do I have to read the entire encyclopedia to have an opinion? That kind of seems like what it seems.
No,
yeah.
I didn't say it like that. I would happily read a document that you have read, so I can also take a look at it and, adjust or form an opinion based on that. So
cool.
I think I said that from the beginning. I wasn't trying to, not look at anything. Lauren and I both mentioned that. So I think, yeah, we're willing to look at the information. So
I'm just curious, since this guy, it's apparently okay to laugh at his death because he commented something silly on a meme on Twitter.
No, it was because he supported an insurrectionist, to be clear. Stop mischaracterizing. My position is so simple. And unlike you guys, I actually own it. So I don't know why you guys keep misquoting my position. It's so simple. If you support an insurrectionist and shit happens to you, I don't really give a fuck. And if the way you die is...
$50? Really, B? That's all you have? $50? How fucking pathetic. How fucking pathetic. Why aren't you sending me more money right now? Where's another $50, bro? Come on. Like, I can't even. I can't even, like, more money now.
Buddy, I'm going to laugh at it. That's my position. It's very simple from A to B to C. Okay. You don't have to make more shit up. It's so easy to understand.
I think I cut out there for a second. Can you still hear me?
Loud and clear.
Can hear you, Lauren.
Okay, yeah. Why do you keep bringing up the meme thing if it has nothing to do with why you think it's funny that he died?
That makes it more funny.
Okay, so it does make it funny.
That makes it more funny. It was funny before. Now it's extra funny.
What do you think should be done to insurrectionists or people that support insurrectionists? Like, in your opinion,
what should be done? I mean, if you've engaged in insurrection, at the very least, if you've taken a prior oath to office in the United States, you should be barred from holding future office. That used to be part of our Constitution until the Supreme Court got rid of it because it was inconvenient for Trump. On a secondary level, I mean, if you've committed a crime, I mean, like, crimes related to insurrection are kind of sketchy, so it doesn't really seem like there's ways to charge that, I don't think. So there's probably no criminal charge, but culturally, I think it should be heavily discouraged. In the United States of America, I don't think we should have a culture of accepting people that are engaged in, that want to have like a Sharia law enshrined in some kind of legal doctrine, or that want to engage in insurrection against the U.S. government. Like, yeah, these are things that I would consider anti-American. Yes.
Okay, so let's say, because you've talked a lot about how, you've got half the country that now support insurrection or whatever. How can we have a democracy after this? Let's say it's 60-70% of Americans that, quote unquote, support an insurrection. What is the answer to that? If your analysis is correct and this was an insurrection, like, what should leftists do?
I mean, you either, at that point, I mean, you either stand and fight or you leave, I guess, right?
So hey, quick question, Destiny. Oh, sorry, go on, Lauren. I'll ask after.
Yeah, what does stand and fight look like?
It depends on how you want to fight. What do you mean?
So if, let's say, Trump wins this upcoming election.
I don't know if you're trying to get me to Fed post my account. I'm not going to say some shit, especially some guy here trying to get me to fucking get my shit banned, but it means exactly what you think it means. I'm not mincing words. I don't do what you guys do, where you're like, well, when they said, fight like hell and take your country back, they actually just meant march peacefully. When I say fight, I mean it in whatever sense you think I mean it is exactly how I mean it. Yes, that is what I mean. Yeah, of course. But also, to be clear, again, because I'm not a spineless, blubbery fuck, okay, like you conservatives are, I said the exact same thing with the January 6th protesters, where I said, if you legitimately think that the election has been stolen, if you think, then I understand why you would want to march and engage in violence and engage in insurrection. It makes sense to. If you think that your country's been stolen from you, which is what your corrupt president has led you to believe for year after year after year, then yeah, it makes sense why people would do it. Of course, I would hold the exact same standard for the left and the right there, the same one that I have held for both sides.
If Trump wins this upcoming election, you think that leftists should march on the Capitol violently?
Should they? I don't know. That's a pretty tough question at that point. I don't know. I guess it would depend on the actions. I'm not pussyfooting around. I can't read the future. There's a lot of people. First of all, you don't even know what's happening in the present. So the idea that you don't know what's happening in the present or the past, and you're trying to hold me to account for not predicting the future. Excuse me. Okay. Number one. Okay. It would depend on the actions, I guess, the president takes and what happens from that point. So I'm not sure.
Well, no, because you don't think he should be able to run for office again because he's an insurrectionist. So
Correct.
if he gets elected, he shouldn't be in office, right?
I mean, personally, that was how the Constitution went, and that's been changed. But
so if you are a pro-American, if you love your country, you're a patriot, you should get up and probably do something about it, right?
what, like assassinate the president? I don't know if that would be like the best idea.
It wouldn't be the best idea.
Probably not. You'd probably get caught. If stuff like this, if there's violence, this is the same autistic arguments that you retards use for fucking Ukraine and Russia, where somehow Ukraine gets blamed on Russia invading their territory and fighting back. You can't shoot missiles into Russia. It'll lead to World War III. Whatever happens past the Trump election, the conservatives own that. That's what I would say. Regardless of what happens, they own that. That's their thing. That's their path. That's the path they put the country on.
I think you're leaving room to say, yeah, maybe people should do something violent about it.
No, first of all, that's been the conservative line. Hold on. I've never said that people should do something. I've never used those words. Okay. I'm not saying people should. All right. Just the same way I haven't said on the left, right, people should do a particular thing. But I'm saying that if it happens, I don't have any fucking sympathy for it. I don't know what people should. And it's obvious, like the path that people are putting us on. Like that's a pretty obvious thing that when you make a president and you start changing the rules for that president and you put him above criminal fucking conviction, what the fuck do you
Have you guys noticed now that we've been doing this for about 3 hours now, and I really thought it was almost over, and I hope it's almost over because I can't take much more. He literally just says the same things over and over and over again, because these are talking points that he has used for 3.5 years in every single debate, in every single Twitter space, in every single thing that he's ever done. It's just the same talking points and the same unhinged behavior and the same debate tactics that include deflection and gaslighting and deflection and gaslighting and deflection and gaslighting. It's just the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. He is an autistic fucking robot that's just regurgitating the same lines, and it doesn't matter who he's talking to. It doesn't matter what questions he's answering. It doesn't matter anything. He commits to it. He says it confidently. He uses these gaslighting techniques, and that's how he has achieved this status as being some sort of intellectual on the internet. Like, shame on anyone that's lifted this guy up. Come on, this guy's a moron.
think is going to happen at that point? Like it's an undeniable, like unavoidable path that you're going down.
Okay, so Trump gets elected. People violently storm the Capitol. You're going to condemn that or not?
If Trump gets elected and people violently storm the Capitol, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about it at the time. I'm leaning like 51% in supporting it, I guess. 49.
They start holding Marjorie Taylor Greene at gunpoint hostage. You're not sure 50%?
You laugh, but that's because in your world, all the actions are the same because you have no idea what the fuck is going on with anybody. You didn't even know how this insurrection worked 20 minutes ago, and now you're laughing. You're like, well, it's attacking every single person the exact same. Oh, like you're not even able to engage in the conversation. So I don't know why you're laughing when you ask. Like, well, if somebody attacks somebody that is anti-democratic, that advocates for the president to be held above all criminal liability, do you think that's the same thing as when people wanted to steal AOC shoes? Don't you think that's the same thing as when they? Yeah, that is what you're saying,
bro. I don't give a flying fuck if people are trans, so you can take that shit right out of my chat.
If something happens, I don't know. You can ask me about it then. I'm not going to future predict every potential fucking thing.
I
okay.
wasn't even referring to January 6th. I was just saying if leftists stormed the Capitol violently, held people hostage at gunpoint, would you defend that?
I would say that before Donald Trump tried an insurrection, I would be highly critical of all of that type of behavior. That's what I would say.
But you'd be less critical now.
Maybe. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
All right. Interesting.
I saw Diligent came up. Diligent, I have no hands, so I'm just going to go by who's come up and wants to speak.
I was just kind of observing the exchange for a minute before I chimed in. I'm late to the party, so to speak, so I was kind of assessing Destiny's position because obviously he doesn't like it suggested. I was kind of waiting for him to clarify since I was late, but I think I get the gist of it. We won't get into hypotheticals, so we'll stick to what we know has occurred already. I think we can discuss that. What is your position on the Summer of Love? Is that an insurrection? Is that justifiable violence in the name of left-wing politics? Can you clarify your position on that? Because it kind of leads into what we saw.
I don't think that
happen
any
yesterday.
part of it was an insurrection. I'm not aware of any plans to overthrow the government. Also, you're talking about a huge range of protests. In parts of protests where there was rioting involved and people were either violent or breaking curfews, obviously, I think that all of those people should be held as accountable as possible. I've never opposed any of that ever. I don't know why you're trying to ask me both sides on an issue just because you're too cowardly to take a side against your own political party on one thing doesn't mean that I am. I've been highly critical of riots in the past. I'm quite famous for it. So yeah, I would say that anybody that engaged in illegal behavior should be charged with illegal behavior. And for the rioting, there obviously was a lot of that. So I don't know what you want me to say for that you think is surprising there.
There was no insurrection. I don't know what this kid is talking about. There was no insurrection.
Okay, I mean, we can walk through it from start to finish. Do you think that Donald Trump? Sure. Do you think that Donald Trump had 7 false slates of electors prepared for states that he knew that he was going to lose, or for states that he lost?
No, I'm talking about the march on the Capitol.
That's the ending point to the insurrection. All of this is leading up to it. All of this is part of it.
Yeah. So
I wasn't aware that Donald Trump had been convicted of insurrection. He hasn't. Okay,
that's great. No one is talking about being convicted.
We're going to keep it peaceful. You know, there are people, they marched towards the Capitol. There was a protest. Some people took it too far. A lot of idiots. They did some stupid
I don't know
shit.
why you're
Trump
repeating
said,
the same. Okay.
Respect our police.
We don't need. Yeah, I know that what you guys like tell each other when you like step into the bathrooms and you repeat the same shit over and over again. So if you want to talk, if you want to understand, then we can do it. But you have to walk through it from the very beginning.
You know,
well, you have to, Michael. He's saying that the 2020 riots were riots, but the march on the Capitol, that's not a riot. That's an insurrection.
Sure. Okay. So for all, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
To overthrow the government.
Kat, can you make me a co-host?
Jesus. They didn't try and overthrow the government. They walked on the Capitol.
Yeah,
people took it too far. They went to the government. They were being walked through the hallway by police.
Nice.
And then they
left. We already watched the video. That's not what happened. So the insurrection, the insurrection was that Donald Trump tried to have false slates of electors that he wanted.
Like, you can't let the madness of the internet get to you. I mean, that's really what this is. And I've seen this over and over and over again since I've been on the internet for like four plus years. You know, the people who want to do that, like, I never wanted to do this for a living. This was an accident. I didn't mean to do this. But like, the people who have been in this, they let it get to them. They sink into these dark places that like normal people don't go. You got to be really mindful of this stuff, man. Do not let the internet get to you. There's no reason for you to let the internet make you like this. And I'll say that if you're on the left or on the right, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's not worth it. This is toxic, unhinged behavior.
To be chosen on the election day so that he could be made the president, even though he lost the vote. There was a whole process of doing that, and the culmination of that was on the day of January 6th. He invited. I haven't finished talking. Can you not hear? Do you have a memory issue? If I speak for too many words, do you lose the end of the sentence?
Shit.
Okay. Well, let me finish my sentence. Let me finish. I know that I'm not spinning a narrative. None of these people nobody even denies any. Okay.
Tampering with insurrection.
What have I said so far that's incorrect?
The word.
What have I said? Shut the fuck up. What do you play with the word? You guys play with this shit like every fucking day, dude. The leftist retard. What did I say that was incorrect, sir? What did I say that was incorrect, sir? What did I say that was incorrect, sir?
What?
What did I say that was incorrect?
You're conflating tampering with insurrection. These are two extremely fucking different things.
Insurrection doesn't have to happen in 1 day or 1 hour.
Okay. You're conflating two completely different.
What did I say that was incorrect?
I don't think you're conflating tampering with the word insurrection. Just like you probably don't understand the gravity of the word attempted assassination.
Good one. So the insurrection. Well, it wasn't well done. He missed. Okay. The insurrection. Okay, was from the start to the finish. It was Donald Trump setting up false slates of electors and then bringing tens of thousands of people to the Capitol to have those people rush the Capitol in order to pressure the voters there using violence in order to select the fake electors that he had sent to Congress. That was the insurrection.
You mean when he said peaceful protest outside the Capitol?
No, I mean before that, when he said we need to force them to accept our lawful slate of electors and we need Vice President Mike Pence to come through for us. That's what I'm talking about. You know that speech was more than just one line, right?
when you're talking about so that litigation could occur, he was talking about delaying the process so litigation could occur.
One, you don't get to delay the election because you're ass mad that you lost all your court cases. Number one, there was a time to challenge the election and it had come and passed. Okay. Number two, if you want to challenge it, there are means to do that. It's not to delay the certification of the fucking vote.
It wouldn't be illegal for Mike Pence to delay the process.
It absolutely would have been illegal. It would have been unconstitutional. It would have been the completion. No, he couldn't have been. No, he couldn't. And that's why he didn't do it. Thank God for him.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Then what was the pressure for then? If he couldn't have done it, then what is the point of pressuring him if it wasn't possible for him to do it?
I didn't say it wasn't possible for him to do it. I said it's not possible to do it legally. He couldn't do it legally. But why do you think they were? What do you think they were pressuring him to do? I'm curious. What do you think Donald Trump was referring to when he said we need Mike Pence to come through for us? What was Donald Trump talking about? Tell me.
He didn't have to. He didn't have to verify it. He didn't have to verify.
So what did he want him to do?
He wanted him to delay. He wanted him to withhold the verifying it in the Capitol that day. That way litigation could occur so that he could get the final counts from certain states and allow some court cases to go through.
Yep.
That's what he was doing.
That's called a coup. That's called, hold on. You admit that is resisting the peaceful transfer of power. Yes, correct? That was the day to certify the votes and that he was trying to circumvent that process. Correct?
So wait a second.
No, wait, answer that question. Correct? Was that correct? Did he try to delay the certification of the vote?
I don't have to abide by your
it's kind of my space. It's not a filibuster. It's should I get you guys to be accountable for one time in your fucking life to answer a fucking question? Because none of you guys doing your own fucking dog shit programs.
I don't have to answer the way that you want me to, bro. The fact of the matter is that he called for a peaceful protest.
Was it peaceful? Was it peaceful? Was it peaceful?
Legally delaying the process.
It wasn't legal. No, it wasn't legal. It wasn't legal. It wasn't legal. It wasn't legal.
It was not peaceful.
There you go. It wasn't peaceful. It wasn't legal, and it delayed the process, the certification. What do we call that, folks? With a plan to overthrow the government? That's an insurrection. That's an insurrection. That is it. Well, somehow hundreds of his followers didn't seem to get the message.
Okay, I just muted him for a second because like 4 of you are yelling and nobody can understand anything. So if we can just get 2 people back and forth instead of, a group yelling at each other, because nobody can hear a thing. So I very much appreciate your time, Destiny, being here, and whoever is coming to speak. Please try to one at a time so that people can hear what you guys are saying, because it's just so jumbled. It's impossible to hear through the multiple people talking over each other.
I think we owe him answers, and that's fine. The important thing is discourse. He asked, was it peaceful? There are people there that were peaceful.
No, I'm
there
friends
were
with
people
Nick
that were
Fuentes,
absolutely not.
I'm on Team Nick.
There were some bad apples there, and that's okay. We got to recognize that. At the end of the day, we have to recognize. Yeah, 100%.
But that wasn't his question. His question was whether or not Donald Trump called
and it's a valid question. Was it peaceful? There were people there that were peaceful. There were people there that were absolutely not.
It's not a matter.
They were there to make trouble.
The question is, when Donald Trump sent those people to the Capitol, what was the goal?
It was
protests.
If the goal was just okay, that's fine. Okay, they was just a protest.
protest.
It was just a protest on the day they certified the vote. Why is it that when as soon as things got violent, why did Trump wait hours to call his dogs off?
I don't know. Why did Pelosi not bring in the proper
Who is this fucking retard?
measures?
Who just spoke right?
He just referred to everyone who was at January 6th as a dog.
Here. How much of my money goes to welfare to take care of you every day? Can you even fucking dress yourself? Can you wipe your own ass, you fat fucking retard? I don't know who the fuck is mentioning Pelosi right now. My question was very simple, okay? My question was very simple. Do you need me to repeat it? Why didn't Donald Trump call off the sycophantic savages that were rioting at the Capitol? Why didn't he call them off if his goal was just to have a peaceful protest? Not for hours. Why did he wait hours to do it? Why did he wait hours to do it? Why did he wait hours to do it?
It's recorded.
Why did he wait hours to do it?
But he didn't. It was
really?
He's not in charge, bro. Was he in charge?
Oh,
yes, he literally was in charge. Yeah, he was still the president. Yes.
What is it with all these influencers melting down lately? Jordan Peterson is melting down. Nick Rekieta caught a charge that could get him 25 years in prison. Destiny is melting down. Who else has been melting down lately? Like, ever since January 6th, not January 6th, sorry, October 7th, ever since October 7th, everyone has lost their goddamn minds. Everyone. And it's only going to get worse. You guys understand this. You need to find sane and level-headed content creators. Maybe you think I'm sane and level-headed. Maybe you don't. But I think compared to some, I'm relatively sane and level-headed. I think there are other sane and level-headed people out there too. Yeah, see, this is why I'm not fucking around with the Groypers. I'm friends with the Groypers. I like the Groypers. I'm not causing any problems with the Groypers. I'll tell you right now. That's not going to happen. Priority number 1 for me is not pissing off Nick and the Groypers, because I actually do like them and I think Nick is really funny. But yeah, everyone has been melting down. The Daily Wire melted down. Everyone.
So you asked me why I brought up Pelosi.
He was in charge.
You don't obviously you don't know how the administration runs the Capitol and Capitol security. That's why I brought up Pelosi. He wasn't in charge of Capitol security. Pelosi was. The House was. DC police was. That is who was responsible for security that day. And the reason why he waited so long is because he didn't know exactly what was going on, because he wasn't the one directly in charge.
He didn't know what exactly was going on while he sat and watched it on TV, drinking a Diet Coke with staffer after staffer coming in and begging him to call off his dogs when he was making phone calls to McCarthy saying, well, I guess some people are more...
That's what happened? You have evidence that's what happened?
Yes,
or is that just
it's laid out in all the indictments. His own fucking daughter testifies to this. Mark Meadows, every other fucking person, nobody denies this. Only you retards that are on your knees, okay? Trying to lick up the slurps of fucking cum up from Donald Trump on the floor. Deny this shit. Nobody denies it but you. Why are you denying when even Donald Trump isn't denying it? Nobody denies this. Do you think anything that I'm saying right now is contested? That Donald Trump didn't sit in his office, didn't sit in his fucking room, drinking a Diet Coke for like 3 hours while people begged him to call off the riots?
He's so pissed off.
Buddy, that's not what happened. He posted right on Twitter, respect the police. You got to back down. Get out of there.
3 hours. Wait, hold on. Do you deny? No, wait. I just want to have this one thing.
Wouldn't that be conceding that he...
For everyone who likes Dave Smith in the chat, come back another day and I'll tell you the story of how Dave Smith is afraid of me, because Dave Smith is afraid of me. Dave Smith is like deathly afraid of me. Dave Smith, like, when Dave Smith and I have been in the same places, he makes eye contact with me and then turns away really quickly because Dave Smith knows that Dave Smith is afraid of me. I'm just saying. I'm not holding it against any of you. I'm just saying that Dave Smith is afraid of me.
He was responsible for them?
Right?
Wouldn't it?
Only if he did it at the very beginning. It seems like the fact that he let it run on for hours.
Oh, you mean when he called for a peaceful protest at the very beginning? That's what you're talking about?
Fuck you, you loser. More money now. Fuck you. How fucking dare you put that shit in my chat? More money now, pay pig.
If you called for a peaceful protest and your protesters were not peaceful, would you wait 3 hours to tell them to be peaceful?
He told them to be peaceful before there was even a riot. What are you talking about?
And when there was a riot,
he's no longer in control like anybody else.
He's no longer in control. Then why is it that after he tweeted out, hey guys, we need to respect the police and go home? Why did people go home after that?
You have to ask them. I mean,
how about we use our fucking brain for like 2 seconds? What do you mean I have to ask them? They were there on Donald Trump's orders. They were there marching 1776.
Wait. Did Clint say something about this? Did Clint say something after I shit talked him? I see, you know, I wouldn't know if Clint Russell said something because Clint Russell blocked me on Twitter because I commented on a tweet he didn't like. I swear to God, Clint Russell is such a fucking pussy. And not a libertarian, by the way, and a fucking loser, and that's why he lost the VP slot, because he's not a fucking libertarian. Everyone fucking knows he's not a libertarian. And Clint Russell lost fair and square, no matter what the fuck he says on Twitter. He lost, and he's a sore loser that he lost because he's a conservative. So I commented on a tweet that he didn't like at the convention, and he blocked me for it because he's a giant ass pussy.
to like get Mike Pence to save our fucking country? Why is this such a fucking mystery for you to figure out what they were there exactly for? When he told them to go and get Mike Pence to do the right thing, what was the right thing? What were they marching for? What is 1776? What does that mean?
What did he mean when he said protest peacefully during
It means he was giving enough plausible deniability for spineless hacks like you to come onto Twitter to try to defend him, even though every single reasonable person knows exactly what's happening. When he tells them to go down and encourage Mike Pence to do the right thing, because if you don't fight like hell, you're going to lose your country from the congressman trying to steal it from you.
Destiny morons.
So you want us to believe the implications?
I feel like every retarded thing that comes out of your mouth starts with so you. Can you not engage with like a single fucking
believe implications, but not directly what he says. Ignore what he said directly and just go into what it all implies altogether, up to 3 hours after the fact, right? Like, it's ridiculous, dude.
Are suspenseful movies made like more enjoyable to you with like having no short-term memory? Like, does it just make life more entertaining in general? Or if like what is it like having a mind that can only hold about like 7 words at a time in it? Like,
I have to admit it, man. Destiny, I totally disagree with you, but these comebacks are funny as shit.
I mean, you gotta admire his energy. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, the
it's crazy because in any other circumstance, like the president says, "Hey, here's the plan in the simplest terms." President says, "Let's get 7 states to make fake electors. Okay, we're going to send them to the Capitol, and I'm going to have a talk with Pence and say, Pence, you really need to come through for us. Okay, I'm going to tweet out a ton of pressure on Pence to come through for us, whatever the fuck that means. Then I'm going to invite all of my fans on the day they do the certification, the day that I plan to rig it, and I'm going to go and I'm going to rile them all up there. Okay,
Reagan,
I know that there are people in the audience with weapons. I know that my Secret Service told me that, and I know that they're all riled up. I'm going to send them to the Capitol saying they need to tell Mike Pence to do the right things and choose the lawfully elected slaters. And then when they go to the Capitol and they start rioting, okay, I'm going to sit in my room and I'm going to make phone calls, and Giuliani's going to make phone calls to lawmakers saying, maybe you guys should delay the certification. Maybe some of these people are more mad than you are. Maybe that's your fault, guys. And then after 3 hours, when this doesn't happen, when a lady gets shot in the basement, then Donald Trump comes out and he tweets, okay, guys, time to go home because his little plot failed. It's so obvious for anybody. There's that through line. And the saddest fucking part is Donald Trump's defense to all of this isn't to say, that didn't happen. I didn't do that. I didn't say that. His defense is to go before the Supreme Court of the United States and say, I need absolute criminal immunity unless I've been impeached for a crime. After the Republicans said we can't impeach him, he's already out of office. That's Donald Trump's defense. Your defense is to fabricate and deny. Donald Trump didn't even bother denying. He said that I was the president. I can't be criminally prosecuted for it.
And the Supreme
Who are you
Court
carrying
agreed.
water for?
The Supreme Court agreed.
Okay, we have definitely not advice. She has her hand up. Definitely not advice. You're a speaker. You can unmute, and if you have a question or a comment,
This is really almost over. I promise. It's almost over.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that I fully understand the argument here.
This one's
is
great.
that,
I like her.
Because Donald J. Trump didn't respond quickly enough to shut down whatever was happening on January 6th. We are making fun of people being shot at his rally because some random lone gunman decided to shoot at him for whatever reason, and therefore that's acceptable. And we're going to completely ignore the fact that within the last 2 weeks, Joe Biden made a comment about putting Donald Trump in the bullseye, and then having multiple tweets sent out with that. Years of people calling him Hitler and indicating that we need to shut down all of these awful MAGA people at any cost. We're just ignoring all of that, and we're just going to go ahead and focus on the fact that he was drinking a Diet Coke, which, by the way, I'm glad he was drinking a Diet Coke. At least it wasn't full sugar, okay? A Diet Coke for the win. That's great for your diet. I'm glad he's really worried about his health. But to be clear, we're more worried about the fact that he was delayed enacting allegedly for January 6th, and not that for the last year, 2 or more, people have been calling for action against any Republican who agrees with Donald Trump, and that we should put him in the bullseye. That's totally normal and acceptable, according to you, because he delayed his acting on January 6th. Just want to make sure we're 100% clear here.
You know, some people, they'll eat like the whole Oreo, and then other times they twist them and then they like eat the frosting first because everybody has like their own process. I'm curious for you. Do you like suck out like the blue parts of the Tide Pods first, or do you eat the whole thing in one bite when you're chowing down on them every night? I've got to know.
You know,
is it the whole
take
Tide
my
Pod,
time
or do you
on
do it
those
part by
things.
part? Do you put out like 10 of them and eat the white part like in all 10 of them and then eat the rest of it? Or What a retarded fucking summary of everything that I fucking said. Yeah, you sound like a fucking extra
really
in My
taking
Cousin
it-
Vinny, okay? Thanks for the input, okay? I'm done. I'm good. I'm out. Okay. All right.
And he left.
Fuck conservatives. I'm over it. I'm way the fuck over it. I'm way the fuck over it, okay? If you are, listen, we've been too nice, okay? I know that I've picked up some conservative fans, okay, over the past few years, maybe. I don't know how long, okay? Just know.
Thank you,
if
Marina.
you
I
end up at one of
appreciate
these
it.
protests, okay? I'll be tweeting about you, all right? I need all of you to get the fuck out.
So every
I know I got
conservative
more.
needs to
I
leave
know I've
them.
got more
You
than
guys
1,000
come over
of you,
here.
okay?
I'll
are disgusting,
I'll yell at you.
anti-American, anti-patriotic fucks, and you are the cancerous rot that is destroying my fucking country. Okay, that's what I think about you.
Oh
That's what I'm
my
gonna think about
God.
you. If something happens to you at an event, if something happens to all of your fucking whatever, I'm gonna tweet that. And I'm gonna have a jolly old time. Okay, don't forget it. I'm not joking. I'm not being unhinged. Well, I might be unhinged.
You are
I'm not
being
joking. I'm not gonna
unhinged.
change my mind tomorrow. Okay, don't ever fucking forget this. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Anyway.
I mean, he's not as bad as you think he
The
is. Stick around. I'll show you.
what was I thinking? Oh, the okay. So for people that were all over Twitter,
Yeah,
yesterday,
I'd say so. Yeah. Yeah.
This is my issue, I guess, explaining the long and the short of it is somehow Republicans have enjoyed the ability to act with impunity in the most traitorous means possible in this country. And somehow we're supposed to treat them like ordinary citizens that are just exercising their democratic voices, and they have just as much legitimacy and just as much rights to their opinions in an American democracy as anybody else. And that I'm tired of pretending for 4 years that that's supposed to be a thing, that people that are fully and willfully supporting a man that engaged in insurrection, that I'm
glad
supposed
you
to
had
treat that as
fun.
like an equal opinion, and that like I'm supposed to sit here and have like pleasurable and nice conversations. And I think
You mean that I'm supposed to treat people who disagree with me as though their opinion means as much to me? What a condescending asshole. Again, this is what the internet does to people. People need to hinge into reality. He needs to leave the fucking house. He needs to stop talking to people on the internet. He needs to go on a fucking vacation. I don't know. Like, he needs to put his phone away. This is like, he's not even human in this. And the other thing too is like the arrogance of this fucking debate bro cuck. He really thinks that because he's very good at fast talking and he's very good at deflection and he's very good at gaslighting, that makes him smarter and better than other people. Like, really think about that. He's basically a con artist. He's a fucking snake oil salesman. It's nothing more than that. He really thinks that because he can memorize a set of talking points and just spout them confidently and deflect all main points that are brought to his attention, because he's not going to let anyone else control the conversation. He's going to control the conversation, because if he's not controlling the conversation, he can't deflect and gaslight and deflect and gaslight and then deflect and gaslight again. The only skill that he has is in being forceful and controlling the conversation and using it to deflect from anything that is productive at all. That's it. Autistic fucking robot. Autistic Machiavellian robot.
looking back on it, talking with Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, any of these fucking people, I already said that, like, I was worried, like, if I had more mainstream conversations, I feel like these conversations are going to be bad or boring. And now looking back on it, I think they were bad and boring. And I think it was cuck bullshit. I don't think I have any desire to sit here and pretend like somebody has the same value as an American citizen, as a person who like openly.
No, like I said, I'm 100% deadly serious. Number one, I don't debate. I don't think it's a productive use of energy. This is something fun I'm doing in my free time. I don't do a lot of this. I do very smart content. Normally, this is just for fun. Okay. But like, even if I did debate, I wouldn't debate him. I think he'd be disrespectful. I think he would deflect from every point I made. I don't think it would be a good faith discussion. I think I would just get insulted over and over and over again. I'm not going to play his game. Have more respect for yourself than putting yourself in a room with assholes like this. I don't care how many fans he has. If like, let me just be really clear. And I know I've got some Destiny people in the chat, and some of you guys are saying you like me, and that's cool, man. I'm not personally insulting any of you, but for the most part, I think that people who tune in for content like this all day, every day, are just not people that I care to appeal to. There are always exceptions to the rule. There are always people that are smarter than most. But what on earth would I get out of debating Destiny? How would it help me at all?
And wholly supports an insurrectionist president. And I'm tired of pretending that way. In a democracy, there should be multiple ways to hold people accountable. And Trump has gotten to slide by all of them somehow. He wasn't allowed to be impeached because Republicans said, well, he's gone. We can't impeach him anymore. He left. We can't impeach a guy who's out of office. Remember, that is the only reason why he survived the conviction.
Oh, I don't care that much about
enough
clout.
Republicans said, you go and look up the votes.
Don't
Enough
care
Republicans
that
said he's out of
much.
office, so we can't
Sorry.
impeach anymore. And then afterwards, Donald Trump went before the Supreme Court and he said, well, I can't be criminally charged unless I'm impeached, right? Somehow he got to have it both ways. The Supreme Court gave him more than what he was asking for when it comes to criminal immunity. The Supreme Court rewrote the Constitution and they disregarded the 14th Amendment in order to have Donald Trump be qualified to sit as president again. He was able to avoid conviction, and he pardoned every single criminal fuck friend that he had in office when he was in office, and he had the ability to pardon them. I think that from now on, when I engage with conservatives, the first step is always, and this should have been the strategy from fucking day one. And you know why it didn't happen? It's because I wasn't read enough on it. Embarrassingly and ashamedly enough. It's because I didn't follow enough on it, because conservatives were so fucking good at setting the media standard, the agenda, that I would have assumed, well, if something as unhinged as this is going to happen, of course, like the liberals will talk about it, but they aren't. And instead, we got more airplay over the past 2 weeks of Joe Biden, okay, looking like a bumbling dipshit, than we did about the fact that the president of the United States now enjoys absolute criminal immunity when operating within his conclusive and preclusive powers of the president, whatever the fuck that means, okay? Just to be clear, none of these things like really mean anything. When you get people coming out like, oh, presumptive immunity, that didn't exist before Roberts wrote it into existence. Or when people come out and they talk about like, oh, the core powers of the what the fuck are the core powers of the that didn't exist until Roberts wrote it into existence. Okay.
Very
or when people
true.
talk about the Supreme Court, it's like, well, actually, Congress didn't make laws in the 14th. They didn't make laws for equal protections either. They don't have to. It's an amendment. The Constitution doesn't need a law to enforce itself. What the fuck part of the Constitution has ever needed Congress to write a law saying that, well, this is what the Constitution says? You don't need a law. Constitution exists above Congress. Why the fuck would you need Congress to enforce any part of the Constitution?
Wait, he got
The Constitution.
demonetized?
But
Seriously?
Yeah.
Really?
The every single conversation needs to be, do you acknowledge that Donald Trump led an insurrection? That's the start. And if they don't believe that, well, then you walk them through the process. Because remember, none of the insurrection is even contested. None of it is contested. The only way that Donald Trump fought against the insurrection charge was, one, is he told the Supreme Court, not directly, but he got the Supreme Court essentially to rewrite the Constitution so that he could serve in office again, even if he was an insurrectionist. That was number one. And number two was asking the Supreme Court for immunity from all criminal charges while acting as president.
Elon Musk specifically tweeted about this. People were tweeting about Destiny, asking why he's not demonetized. And Elon Musk replied and said, "You're right. This is not appropriate content for advertisers." Wow, bro. What a hill to die on. I wonder how much money Destiny was making a month on that. That just like for no reason, for like literally no good reason at all, snapped out of existence.
Those are the two methods that he employed in order to fight against what he's been publicly accused of, and in some cases criminally charged of doing. That's the first thing that you walk him through. Number one. And then the second thing, I would just be curious, why did Donald Trump pardon every single person in his administration that was charged with a crime? People like Manafort. Number three, why isn't Donald Trump going with the same vice president that he had before?
Because
Isn't
Mike
that kind of
Pence
strange?
sucks.
Why is it that none of Donald Trump's past cabinet members seem to be supporting his run for president? Isn't that kind of strange? Why is it that nobody that's worked with Trump, why has he turned his back on almost all of these people? Isn't that kind of weird? These are the things that you should exclusively ask conservatives about. And when conservatives want to talk about anything else, there's two things you can do. You can either say, hold on, I need you to answer these questions first. And if they don't, then you walk the fuck away because they're not even worth the conversation. Don't even fucking waste your oxygen talking to these people because they're not worth it. Okay. This is the only way that conservatives should be treated. Just as a fair warning publicly, okay, post this to all of your conservative community. If I get invited on any conservative show, any program, I don't give a fuck if it's to play mini golf. Okay, from now on, whatever I get invited for, that's where the conversation starts. And we'll spend all 60 to 120 to 180 to 240 minutes, however, to 5 hours, however the fuck long you want to talk, we will sit here, we will talk, and we will go through step by step of how Donald Trump tried to insurrect the government. Before I'm willing to go any further in a conversation. And you should treat every single conservative the same. Every single conservative the exact same.
How annoying is this
Biden
guy?
being mentally unfit to lead office? Before we can even have that conversation, we're going to talk about why Donald Trump is morally unfit to have office. Okay? That's where all the conversation should be at. But did your conversation with Knowles lead you? No, unfortunately, my conversation with Knowles was actually a lot of fun. We did a drinking game, and it was just kind of like a
all right, guys. He seems
whatever.
to have gotten it out of his system. I think we've hit our peak. I think we've been doing this for almost 4 hours now. That went way longer than I thought it was going to go, like significantly longer. And it's 3:30 in the morning, and I want to go to bed. So, hey guys, thank you for stopping by tonight. If you're new to the channel, I hope you'll stick around. I normally stream Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. We do Socialism Saturdays on Saturdays at 6 p.m. I'm going to be doing heavy coverage of the RNC this week. So for people who are new to me, I'm not a conservative. I'm not. I know I'm wearing the MAGA hat right now just because Trump got shot, but like I'm very critical of conservatives. I'm very critical of Trump. I also am very anti-communist, anti-socialist. So basically, I hate everyone. If you hate everyone and you just want to hinge into reality and know what's going on in the world, that's all I'm asking for. I have a really eclectic mix of audience on my channel. We have people of all political persuasions. We have people of all ages. We have people of all races and genders, and we do like all the different things. And the common thread is that we normally hate everyone and we just want to be hinged into reality. And that's it. So I hope people do feel like they can come back. I hope people come around. Grasslands G, thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate you guys. So guys, please do mount the like button on the way out the door if you have not already. Please make sure you are subscribed on YouTube and on Rumble, and follow me on Twitter. I'm Dr. Carlin B on Twitter. And that's all I got for right now, guys. I will see you in the morning. Take care. Have a good one.